Yes. We live. That's what we're talking about. Hey, happy Sunday to everybody, man. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hope everybody blessed. Hope everybody safe and stuff. You know, um, so we got Cboogie, man. Cboogie Talks. We get him on today, man. So this is big, man. There's always good vibes between me and my brother right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Always good vibes. He doing big things with his podcast, Cboogie Talks. And then he doing all the other stuff, man. You got on Clubhouse and more stuff. So we definitely gonna get into that, man. But I hope everybody doing well. Hope everybody blessed, man. Hope everybody having a happy Sunday, man. It's always good to give back to to your fellow brothers, people from the VI and stuff like that. It's good to have each other and the different platforms that we don't run and operate and stuff like that. So it's always good when we show each other love. Hope everybody doing blessed once again. So this is episode 86, man. 86 episodes. We creeping up. You know, um, we won't be on live next Sunday, and then the Sunday after that we get Carrion, and then the Sunday after that we get our Mountain. So that's the next two right there. So just look out for them and stuff like that. You know, Last episode we had Moriba Judge, man. Moriba Judge, that was an amazing episode, man. Good story talking about his baseball career in college and stuff like that, like how he walk on and everything, man. So that was amazing. But then, getting to his profession, being, on the ship, man, saving people's lives and dealing with all kind of drugs and everything, man. So that's that was interesting, man. So we would, like I said, we definitely like to have him back on and him kind of talk more, in depth more on what he'd be doing and stuff. So good night, carry on. Arika, good night. Good night. Bless up, good night. Good night, bro. Good night. Good night to everybody. Appreciate tuning in, supporting Cboogie Talks. Remember he'll be on every Wednesdays, or sometimes he'll change it to Tuesdays or change it to another day when he has stuff going on with his kids and stuff. So I always, go on his Facebook page, support, I always check it out. I always watch the playback. Also check out our Livewire too as well. They're doing good stuff for the youths and everybody. So definitely support their Livewire Sports, man. They always doing good stuff. So yeah, but so hopefully we could get back Moriba Judge, so that was good. And definitely shout out to all the people that have appeared on our platform in the past and this year as well too. So appreciate taking time out, giving us your story and your history and so we definitely appreciate it, and I definitely is grateful. So hope everybody doing well. So also the local businesses that I'm gonna have underneath the screen, the little ticker, definitely go out and support, man. Support if you guys get a chance. Hail up, Andre, hail up. Yeah, man. And shout out to Andre, by the way, because he's 24 years, man. 24 years coaching in the York area. York College. He did women's volleyball. He did track, and he did a couple other sports. I apologize, I can't remember, but so definitely congratulations to Andre, man. If I see him, or if you just go on his Facebook page and just show some love, man. It takes a lot to survive 24 years coaching, especially like in the college and stuff like that, man. You got to deal with a lot of adversity and stuff like that, on top of your skin color and then where you from and all that stuff. Not to bring anything negative, but the truth is the truth. So definitely congratulations to Andre, man. And keep going, keep inspiring all of the college, athletes and preparing them to become, good young men and women out in the society. So definitely congrats, man. That's an honor, man. So definitely shout out to Glenn, man. Shotgun, his daughter, them. The Goddess and Draco, man. They're doing big things, man. They can rap. So if I get a chance, man, definitely check out Shotgun page. So man, his daughter they can rap, man. They're doing good, so they improving, man. So definitely shout out to the Goddess and Draco, man. So much love to them, man. Definitely gonna be supporting them always, so. But I hope everybody doing well, man. Blessed Sunday to everybody tuning in, and everybody will be tuning in later on and stuff like that, Once again, man, we got Cboogie Talks, episode 86, man. This is my brother right here, man. He's doing a lot of good stuff, man. A positive dude. I could go on and on about this brother, man. He's always showing love. He always supporting, man. He's always looking out for your mental, state of mind. You know what I'm saying? He's always looking to talk and be there for you in whatever type of way, man. You come across a few individuals like that. So definitely, man, definitely can't wait to have him on and stuff. So I ain't gonna be rambling too much longer, man. We'll get right to it, man. Shout out to everybody. But we got the one and only, man, Cboogie Talks, man. Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Good night. Blessings, bro. Blessings. As always, man.
Blessings.
Appreciate you for having me on again. It means a lot and it says a lot. You know what I mean? It means a lot and it says a lot, and especially as I always say, man. With you, Tegan and Pang, man. Throughout the years, y'all, what people I always looked up to. So being on the platform is always a pleasure, my boy.
Yeah, man. Give thanks, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. So how everything going, man? Everything blessed and stuff?
Everything cool, man. It's crazy because I would thinking about y'all. I would think about my basketball back home over the weekend. My son, I pick up my son Friday, and he's like, he tell me about his week. He tell me he just joined LA Fitness and stuff. So he like, Dad, guess what happened? I like, what going on? He like, man, me and my friends was in the gym playing, and I had this guy with his AAU team, on the side. So he saw us playing, and he came up to us right away. He said, look, I want to add some guys to my team that, to go down Virginia Beach this weekend. How about it? And he was like, no. So I was like, you told him no? Wait, what? He's like, yeah, Dad, those guys, they wasn't really good. And I'm like, so you didn't tell your mother. You didn't tell me. You just told this guy. You didn't bring it to nobody attention. You just said no. Say, yeah, Dad, man. They're as you know the favorite word these kids is say trash. He's like, man, those guys are trash, man. I said, dude, the most irritating thing about what you telling me right now? It just goes to make me understand your level of love for basketball definitely wasn't like mine. And I hate to compare eras, dude, but there's no way I could have turned something like that down. Like, dude, if you had tell me we would have been in Virginia Beach this weekend, we'd have made something work, yo. I have people down there, I get friends. We'd have make it work, and when it happened, like, you don't pass up opportunities like this, man. You don't, man. Regardless of how good or bad the team is, you could put yourself in a position just to be seen. I said, man, when I was 16 years old, I was pulled to play with this team in East, in Canigata Bar Park from Saba. And I tell him, I didn't even care who was on the team. I just wanted to play. I didn't ask who. I found out who was on the team. And at that point in time, I was like, better than most of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like, I just went to play, and I played. I was I was number 2 in scoring behind Shane Hodge. Yo, Shane Hodge was a
Yeah.
Shane Hodge was a sleeper. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was a scorer. Brother. That's a scorer.
Definite scorer. So I was number 2 behind Shane Hodge in that league. And I just tell him, like, man, opportunities, man, you can't just push them aside like that. I said, don't ever do that again here. Don't ever do that again. Anything like that come about, tell me, tell your mom, let we talk about it before you just like, no. Like, can't do that, man. But other than that, man, I good, man. I glad to be here. You know what I mean? Glad to be here with our man, like I said, ready to get into tonight. Ready to, talk about the platform and different stuff I have coming up and different stuff that I'm actually doing already. You know what I mean?
Yeah. True that. Just real quick to we was talking about what you said is important, man, because as I got older, I got into I was blessed to have the opportunity to play professional baseball for a long time, and then just being involved in travel basketball up here in Florida, in Orlando, I realized like the importance of playing when you're young. Like if you really want to play a sport, is like you gotta be playing it nonstop, man. Like you gotta
Hmm.
be like dedicated and like you said, like you can't pass up any opportunities. It's not about who's on the team. It's about you playing because you honing your skills every time you play as a kid. Because as
Exactly.
soon as you get to high school, man, you need to know who you are, and you got to know what you're capable of doing, and that's what makes you and gives you the advantage. So when you go to college, and that's the downfall. Like I use myself for example, like when I went to college, like I was
Mhm.
okay, I was all that in basketball, whatever. But when I went to college, like I didn't have a foundation, like I didn't know what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
was just there. I was living in the moment, but I didn't have like a plan. I wasn't structured and stuff like that. I didn't hold the necessary skills and was prepared to succeed in the position that what I was going to be placed in. Because growing up is just like I'm beating you to the basket and lay up, lay up, lay up. But
yeah, yeah,
when
yeah.
I went to college, it weren't like that. It's like, man, you got to come out screens, hit mid range. I ain't do that in high school. Like, we just, I say so. That's why it's so important, man. Like to work on the repetition and playing all the time and
All
really
the time.
focusing on your skills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but
Definitely.
it's
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. These kids, man. I know they love Bob, but I always say, and I will say to this day, there's no era that could touch our era. I don't know about the States, but I could tell you about the Virgin Islands. Like
yeah,
we were some amazing dudes. We were not even dudes. We were some amazing group of young people in general, male and female.
yeah. It's true. That's the good thing I like. That was the good thing I like about our era. Like nobody really show nobody. You had respect, but it wasn't like we praise anybody. It was like, we gonna go out and we gonna battle. It was like that. It wasn't like, man, he better than me and you gonna call out. No, it was
No,
like I
no.
come in for your head, no matter who you is. We come in for each other head, and that was the good thing, man. During our time, man, everybody felt like they were the best.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's what made it, memorable, man. You know, and that's
Yeah,
why,
man, yeah,
like,
man, yeah, man.
so, so good evening, Miss Bryce. Good evening. Bless up, shot good. So you appeared on the platform, a while back, man. So how has it been since you've been on the platform and doing your platform and you already was doing your platform before you came on our platform. So how have you transitioned? And what some of the stuff that you have added?
Well, first of all, I don't get stage fright no more. I, I used to get like sweaty palms. I used to get sweaty palms. Now is like, I welcome it. I feel like it's like an outlet. It's like a privilege still. You know what I mean? Even though I create the platform, I still have to understand that people are watching, and
Yeah,
people are listening, people are tuning in, people are responding, they're sending me message. So, the jitters are kind of out the way. Um, like now, I've added a little flair to it, a little, music here. Um, I've also added it's called Cboogie Chats. It's just something I started recently doing. Like instead of Cboogie Talks is still on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And like you mentioned, if there's a change in schedule, I will notify it or post it. But now Cboogie Chats now is it's taking little snippets of my personal life and just dropping it here, whether funny, whether it's good, whether it's sad, just little snippets of it. Because I start the platform of being transparent, right?
yeah,
Being transparent and being open, and who better to do it, continue to do it than me, the person who's doing it, right? So ever so often I would, go through my week just thinking about certain stuff and chopping it up and be like, you know what? Okay, bam, this way going, this way I'm gonna touch on tonight. See Boogie Chats. The last one I had, I talked about my best friend who passed away, Keith Fredericks, and
rest in peace.
I could definitely say that was an emotional moment, but I feel like I owed it to him. I can't tell my story without Keith Fredericks. Impossible. He was a very important person in my life. He was like brother. He was like one of the few people that I could actually speak to, and somebody to tell me, yo, you friggin' up. you frigging up like, boss, me didn't even know why you do that. We had that relationship, and when he passed, it put me in so many different areas of my life that I didn't even pay attention to till I
Yeah.
got counseling. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I skipped his not funeral, but I skipped his funeral service. I skipped it because I didn't have the courage to face the fact. You know what I mean? So I did my last chat on that. Matter of fact, and I'll say it tonight, and I'll probably say it again after this, depending on how long we go. I may do one tonight.
Okay.
I may
Yeah.
do one tonight because I was supposed to be coming on Tuesday, but I don't think I think it's conflicted schedule with the person who I was bringing on. So and I won't be able to do any time throughout the week. So depending on how tonight goes, I may come on tonight, and I have a kind of funny story to share, but we'll get into that. Um, the camaraderie of people who I meet, Mumba, throughout this platform, um, and not even who I meet in regards of people who I've brought on, and they have meet other people. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They've connected and networking with other people. That's great for me. Like, ain't even gotta be about me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the connection and the people talking about what they do and other people in the background, like, yo, you to do this, okay, let me link up. Or they're hearing a story and people could relate to the stories, or different things, man. So the amount of people I've met between last time and now has grown. Um, Clubhouse. I don't have my own Clubhouse room, but I've been invited on many different platforms. Many, many. Matter of fact, this morning, 8 o'clock this morning, I received a message from some people that want to meet to be on their platform in April. Ain't a specific date, but of course, when I get a date, I'll share it. But
Nice.
I wake up to a message this morning like, yo, we want you to be a part of this. And it's a humbling feeling, man, because in the beginning I had no thought or direction where would I go. I didn't have no clue. I just felt I had a burning desire to speak. And also as a man, as men, we wasn't taught to speak, wasn't taught to share, wasn't taught to really think our emotion, even amongst friends, even amongst people, our boys, like we wasn't taught to do this. So
That's
my
true.
beginning of this was to break that chain kind of thing. And then it evolved into like, yo, and like I say, piggybacking off of the Elite podcast, like I love what these man doing. And there's so many dope, amazing people from the Virgin Islands. Let's hear their stories.
Yeah.
So it went into that. Then it transitioned into trying to keep firm the real conversation. So still
Yeah.
holding firm to the real conversations, and trying to keep a level playing field for everybody. This one partner once asked me like, "Yo, who do you want your audience to be?" And I said, "You know what? Everybody.
Yeah. Everybody.
I don't want no specifics. You know what I mean? Like I tell you, I want us to come back on within the next like 2 weeks or so to do our sports segment because it's important to me. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then I still have other things, other topics and different things to talk about. So I don't want a specific one group of people. I want it to be a broad base where people could come in and vibe and listen and relate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true.
Um,
Yeah. It's
I
important.
remember, I remember when me and you was on when in January. I think you were my first episode when I come back, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was telling you about a guy, the one guy who having a hard time, and he reached out to me like, yo, like, despite everything, what kept him a little more, gave him a pep in his step was my podcast. Cause we played basketball together out in Virginia in leagues and stuff, but we didn't have a personal relationship. And when he called me and he told me a situation and the man cry and stuff on the phone and tell me what he going through, and the man say his motivation was Cboogie Talks, and I was like, for real? Like, for real? Like, yeah, man, because Chris, I know you, but number one, you talk a lot on the court, but you're a decent chill guy. Like, you smile, you join the
Yeah,
conversation, but you just kind of chill. So to see you there was like, there goes Chris, man. And when he kind of didn't see me for a while, that's when he messaged me like, yo, just checking in on you. Besides what I have going on, I really look forward to your podcast, and I really hope that you continue because you never know who's listening. And
facts, man, facts.
that touched me. That really touched me. So, the direction I'm going with Cboogie Talks is so, what's the word? It's so open. I don't have no one way. It's like I have so many ideas, which of course I'm gonna share, but so many ideas, man. And again, it's a humbling and great feeling to understand that people respond to me in that kind of way.
Yeah, yeah, I view your podcast as like it's like a like a unique universal podcast, man. You touch on everything. You'd be having like some deep conversations. You'd be having some funny conversations. You'd be having some, well, I don't want to say conversation, but content. You'd be
Yeah,
having some inspiring content. Informational content. There's like so much different content you get when you go to your platform, man. Like I tell you a while back and stuff. I was like, man, like it's like you made for this, man. Like you made for podcasting, man. You know,
appreciate it.
like yeah, man. Because like as a fan of music, as a fan of podcasts, like as a fan of a lot of stuff, man. And like when I see people doing something, and it stands out to me, I don't just let them know, man. Like I let you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah,
man, you got it, brother. This might not be your ultimate goal in life, but man, you could be one of the biggest podcasters in the next 20 years. Nobody knows, but I won't be surprised. So when I tell you
yeah,
that, I'll
yeah,
be like,
yeah,
I ain't surprised because you got it. I cannot see it from a different standpoint just because I listen to so many different podcasts. I listen to podcasts from, all kind of different stuff. I don't want to give anything away, but it's not just sports and music and movies. It's like
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
broad. It's broad because Tupac once said that like he said something along the lines where it's like, man, if you want to be great, you got to study people that you're not interested in. You know what I'm saying? If
mm,
you want to be great, you might not like this person, but you want to learn about this person because then you want to know how this person get to where they at, why they
yeah,
think the way how they think, or why they are how they are and stuff like. You just don't want to like be closed minded and always just be in your comfort zone. Sometimes you got to go out of your comfort zone and listen to topics like if Ku Klux Klan had a podcast, my attitude won't be when members of our Ku Klux Klan had a podcast.
it's,
My mindset wouldn't be like, man, f them. I ain't listening to them. I ain't supporting them. Nah, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna peep game. I want to hear. I want to know how did they think, how did they move and stuff like that. So now I'm much more wiser and much more better. So so like just seeing you, man. Because every time I go on your podcast, it's like it's something different, man. And it's funny, it's amazing, it's good information and stuff like that. You had that. You had the one with the makeup sex podcast. You have that was very interesting.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
remember you had what's her name? Then I forgot her name. And you guys was talking about, like stocks and all kind of different
oh,
stuff.
Makeda.
Makeda, yeah. She went to Africa. She talked about, her kids and, her mindset and stuff like that. So it was like it's so many different information, man. And then you had on Shalamar the man last
Yeah,
time. That was I catch that late, but I watched some of the playback that so it's like it's just broad, man, and it's fun, man, and it's refreshing to see somebody from the VI taking that different approach, because like you said before you started, you was like, we wasn't taught to talk and taught to be emotional and transparent and be open and free, and show emotions and stuff like that. That was like a sign of weakness, but you tap into that and you able to do all that stuff, so you like inspiring all kind of different people. You know what I'm saying? Just showing up vulnerability because it's okay to show vulnerability. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? And just me by watching your podcast and you talk a lot of personal stuff really like made me tap into my own emotions and feelings and stuff like that and be more comfortable to just talk about it. So
Yeah,
Like how you
yeah,
say you learn stuff from watching us, so I learn stuff from watching YouTube, brother. So
yeah,
you
definitely
know,
appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah,
yeah,
man, it's and just like how we talk about basketball, you know what I mean? It's all in hidden work, meaning like it's so many things I do to my personal time to that people don't see. Just like basketball, you
yeah,
only get great as hard as you work. It's the work that people don't see that'll push you, to be the best. And like you said, the different things that I listen to, different things that I see, different things that I read, things that I probably may find like I'd have to tell myself, you know what? It may be boring, but just tap in. Just you may hear something that may,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
click.
yeah,
So just I myself had to do my own little homework. And the crazy thing is that I know one of the best thing to do is write down stuff, but my technique for myself is I don't write down stuff, but I write it in draft format. A lot of the times I'd talk to myself. I'd turn off all the music in the car and I'd talk to myself, like speak as if I'm speaking to someone. You know what I mean? So when it's time to actually deliver the message or say whatever, I already, feeling to do it. Like literally from the time I wake up to go take a shower, after I don't pray and do what I gotta do, from the time I jump in the shower, my mind going and I speaking and I speaking. And in the car with the music off and I speaking to myself and I talking to myself as if I talking to you. Like I giving it real
yeah.
emotion. You know what I mean? Like Kobe said, like when I practice as if I'm in game mode.
Game more facts, yeah,
And that's why I be to so I could kind of just speak. You know what I mean? I could still glance a little thing here and there, but I could continue to speak. I said to myself, like, damn, I should have had this format in school, Ross. I would have been straight A's. Like,
yeah. It's true. It's true. It's so true. Yeah, when you said that, I started laughing because I do the same thing. Like I talk to
oh
myself
yeah,
all the time. Yeah, I talk to myself all the time. Like are we talking? Like I'll talk to myself. I always do that, man. I always do that. I think for me, it's comforting. It helps clear the mind. It kind of
mm,
balances me out at the same time, and then I'm just like more prepared, and comfortable, of an approach and stuff like that, you know. And I know me, like I tend to like be more focused as well too at the same time. So when you mentioned that, I started laughing because I was like, man, because I'd be talking and I'd be like, man, people probably think I talking on the phone, but I talking to myself. It's your
yeah,
check.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah, but yeah,
It's
man,
true.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
but
it's definitely
you're right.
true. So it's all it's all what you put forward to it. You know what I mean? Like I said in the beginning, I used to always say, appreciate it, Miss Bryson, appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Fox. She right though. You speak well for real, man. Definitely, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
man.
and it's funny because when I think of Miss Bryson, and I always think of course my band teacher. But even thinking of her, I remember when I was supposed to come complex to play. I know she went to go teach band in complex. When I was supposed to come complex to play, my mind did run on the fact of I was going back to band because of Miss Bryson.
Yeah.
So Miss Bryson, big up to you, man. Blessings, blessings, and I appreciate your words.
Yeah,
Um,
man. Definitely big up to Miss Bryson.
but yeah, man, I didn't know where I was going in the beginning. I just know I wanted to be on here and speak my truth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And from my first episode to now, it's it's grown. I personally feel like I've grown. I was just talking to my wife the other day and we were talking about it, and I asked her, she said her favorite episode was my first one. I was like, my
Mm.
first one? What? I was like, my first one I
Yeah.
felt was not the best.
Yeah.
But she said that was a point that you just came on and you spoke. And then you spoke who you are, you know what I mean? And she said that's what makes it her favorite. And I said, number one, I plan to do another one like that, another full live of just me. And also what I have in mind coming up is and I may it's like it's a burning desire in me. Like I want to do a Cboogie Talks dinner with
Mm.
nothing but guys, starting with my mom's husband, my sister and father, who was was very influential in me growing up as well, and my uncle Fivo as the older guys, people amongst my peers, me and my peers, and then down to my son and my two younger cousins. And I want it to be real. I want it to be like an open space because, like I just mentioned, us as friends, like I feel like I can't speak for everybody, but I
True.
know there's things that I have friends they're going through stuff and I don't know about it, and I feel a way about it. I feel a way about that.
Yeah.
I feel a way for the fact that it took me 40 years to now reach to this point that I'm comfortable in having a space. And if I could show, my son and my cousins and, show my other surroundings and they could show their kids, you know what I mean? It could be kind of like breaking, breaking the chain kind of thing. It could be kind of like moving, like they say, moving the needle, pushing up so people ain't so we ain't got we could learn to deal with certain things. We could teach you dealing certain things. So I trying to come up with how I want to do it, but I'm going to do it. And then my mind taking me to making it a yearly thing, like a men's retreat or something like that, you know what I mean? Where I could invite different people and do different things, and it could just be about us, man, chilling and talking and just vibes and really, really gain our self to be open and honest with each other and our own self, man. Like that's one of my top things that I have in mind, and I don't know how, but I definitely gonna make it work. And I say my goal is to make it an annual thing. You know what I mean? Annual thing where just guys come together and we just vibe, man, outside of the club, outside of the bars, outside of the strip clubs, just all together, eating, drinking, and just talking. Boss, if you need a shoulder to cry on, I dare. If you need to get advice, we dare. If you need to, hey, this is what I'm going through, we dare. And along the lines, I plan to seek out some people who professionally, that do, stuff and involve them in the process as well.
Man, that's important, man. That's a great idea, man. Like you mentioning all of that, you know, I've been kind of that on that road, man. But I've been on that road with my son. I've been teaching him like everything you talk about, man. Just being able to talk about anything. Being open. Don't be afraid. Don't be uncomfortable. It's okay to ask for help. Speak out, reach out to me about anything. Because one thing like that, we could grow up with men and stuff like, especially black men, is a lot of pride and stuff, pride and ego. And it don't have to be ego where it's like, oh, I'm the, pride and ego, meaning like you have that ego and that pride where it's like you don't want to ask for help, you feel like you could do it, but
Mhm.
really and truly you just destroying yourself, slowly. So just being able to reach out, and you ask for help and stuff like that, develop that comfort zone, everything pretty much you explain and talking about. I have a good friend, and we were talking on Friday evening. You know, I know to see this person like once in a while, but we don't always have like deep and good conversation. Like this person able to open up to me and just talk about stuff, and I'm the same way. And it's like it's not even self judging. It's just like laying everything out and you just talking. And then we could probably like give each other like good pointers and seeing it from a different point of view without even
Mhm.
self disagreeing. And those is like the great conversations to have. And that's how you just build, man. You know,
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
being comfortable and just open. Because when you're comfortable and open and you just talking, it's like, apologize, man. They too much noise. But
Good.
you know, they just, you know, they don't know. You know, that's the thing, man. You know, they don't know. So it's just being comfortable, being able to speak up and stuff.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. So it's like, and as I mentioned, the Clubhouse part, you know what I mean? It's like I said, I don't have I haven't started my own Clubhouse room yet. That's that's in the making. And it ain't nothing too hard, you know what I mean? You start the room, you invite some people, you start to talk about different things. And but the rooms that I'm a part of, the different groups, these people that always, they hit me up, ask me my opinions about certain things. That'll make me, they'll call it moderators. When you're a moderator of a room, you kind of control the diversity of the room.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I
true.
mean? So I'm a moderator in so many different rooms, and they'd always be like, "Yo, man, when are you gonna do your own room?" I like, man, in time, man. I said, I already have my live. I'm already doing my Cboogie chats. You know what I mean? So I have to. I don't want to do anything that's rush. One of these days I would like to know the ins and outs of starting a podcast. Okay, cool.
Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah,
The funny thing with that statement is that, again, I thought it was so hard. Like, that's what took me so long to start. I thought it was like the hardest thing. I thought you had to have this and this and this and this.
yeah,
And then, like I said, man, when I pay attention to what Iman was doing, and you had StreamYard, and you had the headphones, the microphone. I was like, I could do it. You know what I mean? I could do it. I don't have to spend whoever whole amount of money to get started. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
could put together something simple and make it work. You know what I mean? I used to do Facebook Live first, and then when I see y'all doing StreamYard, I'm like, yo, StreamYard looks like it's much easier, number one,
yeah,
and it's so much better because you can invite up to 6 people or whatever.
yeah,
Within Facebook, you have to have a certain connection. If you're using a laptop, something ain't gonna work, and it's sometimes hard to get a person on. And it's like, oh my gosh, whereas in StreamYard, it's like you already link up with a person that they in a little waiting room, and you bring them on. Is you know what I mean?
yeah. It's true. StreamYard easy, man, and plus it's free too. You know, so
Hmm.
and then you could like you don't have to go live. You could kind of record and practice on your own if you want to as well, or you could invite a group of people and just talk and see how it play out on the recording. You know, but yeah, I man, I did like a good week, 2 weeks research, man. Just researching. I found out like what's a good platform to use, man. And people have that kind of different advice and stuff like that online, because I didn't know who to ask because I wasn't seeing anybody really doing it on Facebook then, among my friends, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
so and then I just put up into StreamYard and that was it. Listen,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. And
yeah,
like I say, from a fan of the podcast, I like, I just started to pay attention to our man, because who better to relate to than your peers, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
just pay attention. I was like, you know what? Is definitely time. It's definitely time to start. And of course, with the wife behind my back, not in a bad way, but she's like, yo, what's
yeah,
going on
yeah,
here? You say you gonna start.
yeah.
What you doing?
Motivation,
What
yeah,
you
yeah,
doing? So I know once I had posted, it was like, once you put it there, there's no turning back. There, there's
yeah,
there's definitely no turning back. I and even down to the topics, it's just depending on. I'd have a whole bunch of stuff written down. I'd have people that I pay attention to, and then I'd be like, what, this right here is important. Like the thing with Shalimar, them, like the affirmations group, man, it helps, it helps, man. Like I say, it's part of my weekly routine. It's part of
yeah,
my weekly routine when you could be in a room. Number one, they're from where you from. They're inviting to male and female,
yeah,
and the whole thing is, making you understand, like, yo, this is your race of life. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody else on. Ain't for you to go faster than nobody. If you're going slower than somebody, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's your race of life. You know what I mean? It's where you put forth into it. You know what I mean? And one of the biggest things that she says, live life like a race horse. Race horse don't pay attention to the other horse coming up next to it. They don't even pay attention to when the horse about to pass it. They're just going.
Yeah.
You're
Tunnel
just going.
vision. Tunnel
Tunnel
vision.
vision.
Yeah.
And even if you go and you trip up, it's okay, yo. Like, you're gonna have that moment and just know you can't stay there, but at the same time, it's okay. It's your race of life. And when you hear these ladies talking and they're making it a whole vibe for everybody, it's like, how can you not? You know what I mean? How can you not make this part of your lifestyle? You sometimes need it. You never know what people going through, man. You never know what people going through. And you know, as I mentioned, I have my own work I do behind the scenes. I cool, and as a cool guy, I believe I know I'm an awesome guy, but I have
Yeah.
my moments just like everybody else. You know what I mean? And it's the work I try to put in, in regards of whatever I read and whatever I want to listen to. Like I said, speaking out loud to myself or talking to other people is work. You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
it's, it's
It's
all
work.
based on what you want to get out of it. I know that, as you mentioned, I know I was supposed to do this because it feels good. Doing Cboogie Talk feels great. I have no, how to put it. The monetary part is way outside of my mindset. If I could do Cboogie Talks and only one person watching, or if I could do it and nobody watching, and then people come back and watch it later, I go still do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's great to have this. It's really great to have this. And again, being out here with Armand the second time, it speaks volume, and I appreciate it because people who ain't seeing me on my platform, see me on you guys' platform, I will, pass the word around and or may tune in or may go
That's
and check
true.
out the page. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
being out here a second time is definitely appreciated. Definitely appreciated.
No, man, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Hail up, Karen. Hail up, hail up. John,
Oh
St.
yeah,
Louis,
big up
hail up.
Karen. Yeah,
Yeah,
man, big up
Hakeem.
Karen.
Yeah, Hops, Hops, big up Hops. Love always, brother. Love, love. Yeah. You know, you said when you mentioned when you talk about like focus and just focusing on your own your own life, your own journey, that is so important. And like Akeem make this post on YouTube when he said social media make people feel as if you have to spend you know have to speed your process,
Yeah.
and it's true. And it's more than ever what you're doing is so important in this point in time in our life today with social media, because social media affects people so physically, because it's everything is with the eyes. It's how it looks.
Hmm.
How it looks, how everything is look and stuff like that, man. But like having tunnel vision is so important, man. And when you was talking about it, I was trying to remember, because I was trying to remember when I made the decision for myself, where I have, like, for me, like, I have come to grips with life, meaning like I don't, whatever happens in life happen. Like, I don't even self complain. I don't talk about it. Like, if somebody said, Mumba, what you saying, how everything is, like, I never once said, man, life hard, life rough, I had a bad day. Like, I don't even self have like bad days. You know what I'm saying? My day might be long, but it's not a bad day. It's just like I'm living in the moment,
Yeah.
and life ain't easy. Like, I've come to the realization, like, look, life ain't easy. Life is gonna be hard. Life gonna be easy. Life gonna be hard. You know, we are going to experience death at some point of time in our life. All that stuff is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's just being able to have balance and know,
Hmm.
where you are in life. So when those tough situations come, you don't go astray, into a negative realm, but it's crazy, man. Like, everything you to be speaking on and stuff like that, this stuff like I gotta be thinking, man, and why to be walking on myself too as well at the same time.
That's good. That's good.
You
That's good.
know. Yeah, man, because it's like it's always a journey with yourself. You can't be stuck, man. You can't be like, this is how I am and this is how I will always be. You always got to like evolve, man, and learn and mature and stuff like that in your own way, you
Yep.
know, in your own way, man. With the affirmations and stuff. Like a couple of times, like I've been in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
affirmations in the
I
clubhouse and
see a
stuff.
couple times. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's something I love, man. Like meditation and stuff like that, man. That's so important and so big for the body, man, and the soul and the mind. What I'm saying, just meditating. What I'm saying, not thinking about anything. Your mind just free of everything. You know.
Yeah, man. So even the ladies for that podcast is who, they reach out to me. One of the girls, Shira reached out to me this morning and she said she wants to do a platform for guys and she wants me kind of like to headline it.
Nice,
And I was
nice.
like, she was like, I was like, of course, it's no doubt, man. It's definitely no doubt, man. It was, what I mean? It felt good, man. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't, I feel my phone vibrating. I'm like, oh, and you listen to the message like, yo, Chris, this is what I want to do. This is the platform where I want to think, and I want you to be like the main host. And I'm like, man, you can't get better than that, man, because it speaks volume to the individual who you are, and
Facts. Yeah.
it goes to show that what you're doing is being seen. You know what I mean? What you're doing and the message, whatever message it is that you taking from it, you taking that, Chris is a really good dude. Chris have this message, Chris is in this point, and I trust him to be a part of my platform and lead the way for these guys who for these other guys who are gonna be in there. Of course, they plan to have somebody, another professional, but they want me to be like one of the main speakers. And it's like, it's mind blowing, man. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. Because if you had asked me on episode one to do that, I'd have hesitated. I would have been like, I don't know.
Yeah. But it's just, first off, congratulations, man.
I
And
appreciate it.
everything you say, because everything you're talking about, like in this moment we have in this conversation, it represents what you have done. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, your wife said your first episode was her favorite, and to be honest with you, your first episode is the most purest form of any of your episode, because it
Mhm.
was just raw, it was uncut. You face your fears, you know what I'm saying? You face all your worries and your doubts, and you still went out and tackled it. And you just doing that, stepping out of your shell, stepping out of your box, with your wife motivating you to where we are today, is like it's amazing, because now you have people who's doing great things, inspiring people, believe in you to inspire other people and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? To take the lead and stuff, man. So he kind of talks about what you're talking about. You just focusing on your journey and you doing your things. You being transparent, you being open, and like you said again, you never know who's watching. And that's a perfect example right there. You never know who's watching. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's like, and it's only gonna go up from here, man. You're just gonna continue to rise, because now you're gonna be into a different realm, and more people are gonna talk about it. And it goes back to your friend, man. Who will be going through a tough time, and Cboogie Talks help him and save him. So you're doing great things, man. You got, that's what I'm saying, man. Keep it up, brother. Keep it up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You're
Another thing
inspiring, brother.
I want to do, and it's so crazy because I said to myself, like, so the next step of what I want to do, I want to, depending on the location, I want to do an in-person live. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
do like,
that'd
I
be
want
nice.
us to be right there, and I want us to talk. I want us to interact. That's another step of my mindset. To be 100% honest, I really think if I didn't if I didn't have my kids over the weekend, I think I would have tried my best to fly down just for this life. You know what I
Hey,
mean? Because this is the angle of where I just want the more personal interaction and more to be have lives that's really live. You know what I mean?
life is
Like
really
we
life. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
we be dead and we vibes in because this is great. Don't get me wrong, this is great. But when it's like you and another person, is like a different, it's a different interaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's true.
at some point in time, I definitely want to, depending on the guest, depending on the location, if it's drivable, I might, I might do that. If it's in Atlanta and I could drive Atlanta, I could do it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's another thing I have in my mindset to try to tap into as well, man. I have so much ideas, Mumbari man, so much ideas and so much topics to touch and so much to give. I personally feel, you know what I mean, so much to say and so much to be a part of because, as I say, man, it took me 40 years to get to this place, man.
yeah,
And if, like I say, if I could be a voice to people younger than me or people who have sons, male or female, who have sons, and they could take something I say and pass it down or whatever. I do my due diligence because, like you say, at some point in time, the reality of life is that we're not gonna be here. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I lose four great friends last year, and that was a working process as well. But it made me understand that I have to stay committed to my commitments, right? I have to live life with intention. Every day ain't gonna be the same day, but try to live life with intention because it's only one. It's only
it's true.
one try we have. Only one try we have. And if I could every day wake up, it's a different day for me to be better than yesterday. It's a different day for me to think about something, a different day for me to try something. You know what I mean? Every day ain't
Yeah,
gonna be the same. It's gonna have days I gonna want to do nothing but sleep.
yeah, that's true. It's true. It's true.
You know what I mean? You have
Yeah,
days I want to do nothing but stay in my bed and probably watch a show like, wow, it was just 8 o'clock. No, that farm is 7 o'clock in the night. You know what? Man, whatever, yo, I gotta watch more TV until tomorrow. And it will have days like that, you know what I mean? This and people go take this how they want to. You to hear, and it depends on where you want to go. You'd hear people say sleep is for the dead. Listen, when your body tell you you need to chill, you need to chill. You hear what I mean? When your body tell you you need to rest and you need to get up that moment to yourself, please listen because you can't be the best version of yourself if you ain't taking care of yourself. You can't.
that's true.
There's no way possible. Imagine, imagine if I were going, and I hear no, boss, I'd have been nodding. I'd have been like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So so it's like live life with intention, but at the same time understand that your self-care and all these different things is needed.
Yeah, most
Um,
important.
yeah, man. It was like I say, losing four close people last year was very hard, but each of them I thought about, and I was like, all these different people who I lost was either a great person with their kids, had something going, had a plan, or either live life to the best of their abilities.
Yeah,
And I sat down and I was like, you know what? Everybody have their turn. Sometimes we don't move in life like we have 1,000 years left. We
yeah,
don't. We don't. And it's easier said than done, but staying committed to your commitments makes every day a little bit more easier. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just a little bit more easier. So, like I say, man, this Cboogie Talks is my vibes, man. And I plan to do t-shirts at some point. I Every time the person who helping me, her free days, the mainly be on Wednesdays, and I'm like, oh man, that kind of sucks.
yeah, yeah. That's true.
Her free days is on Wednesdays, and I definitely we definitely have to sit down and it again ain't even for no monetary thing too much. It's just to see someone somewhere in a picture in a shirt that says Cboogie Talks is like, wow.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be big, man. That'd be major, man.
Yeah,
You
it'll
know,
be
yeah. it's just it's one day at a time, man. One day at a time. One day at a time, man.
Yeah. Most definitely, man. And they say it says sky's the limit, but there's outer space. So you could always go, there's always a chance to be more. There's always a chance to do more.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? There's always a chance to just evolve and, you know, and be kind and be people. Like my mind running so much different ways right now, but
I
it's
know, I
like
know what you mean. Yeah,
like what I tell you the last time, you have the rubber ball and have the glass ball. You
yeah,
know what I mean? The glass ball represents your what you want to do when your family and your kids. And once that glass ball drop, it's gone. Once
facts.
once
Yeah,
it drop, it break, and you can't really put it back together. Whereas the rubber ball, the focus on your career and getting the bag. And don't get me wrong, focus on your career and getting the bag, but it should be a little balance. You know what I mean? Because when your kids get older, them man, they're gone. They live in their own life. They're gonna touch base and they're gonna be always your kids, but it may be different things you miss out on. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Your friends, tuning into your friends. Like one of the biggest hurdle, and I'll be straightforward and say one of the biggest hurdle. One of my friends is that I was supposed to meet up with him, and we weren't too far from. Basically, I rescheduled the meetup. I just basically say, yo, this thing had to work, and I could have put more effort into it. Me personally could have put more effort into it, and I didn't. And he passed now. You know what I mean? So it's like in my mind we had more time.
yeah,
In my mind we had more time. So it's like you got to sometimes put aside the hustle and be like, my boy, yeah, let me go for that drink. It's cool. Let me go for that drink. Let me do what we gotta do. And it's something I'm moving past, but I still think about it. You know what I mean? I still think about it here and there. But it just makes me understand, like, when you have opportunities to be a part of something with people, you know, kind of not take it for granted. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And not take it for granted. And I think I can't remember, somebody said time waits for no one. And
Yeah, Rika.
yeah, that's true. Hey, Alrika, I never get back to you on the one time we've been on that podcast. I keep every time I see your name, I remember you had a task that time was on the podcast with Darren, and I don't know if anybody ever check up, but I will. We will not check up to see if you do the task.
you know, that's we talking about. That's something that I be dealing with my mother passing and stuff like that. The same thing. Think you have more time, and you think you have more time, and you think you have more time. Really and truly, you don't have no time whatsoever. It's like it's any moment. So it's like even that's something I have to deal with. I have to cope and stuff like that, and I still
Mm,
deal with it up to this day. I probably deal with it. I'm gonna deal with it for the rest of my life.
mm.
And that's what I was trying to face the truth and stuff, but it could mess you up, man. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's a serious blow,
Mhm.
you know, to deal with. But it puts everything into perspective, man, and realize like, you know, you have no time, man. Like honestly, like for me, like time don't even self exist, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I just feel like when I mention time, I put in a limit on something. And I
yeah,
shouldn't put a
yeah,
limit on anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just going out for the universe, just going out for the energy, man. And like you said, man, you know what? Wow, with this hustle, man. Let's go for that drink. And it's like, man, putting it off. It's like because you never know, but
yeah.
and I was gonna ask you, man, like, because you mentioned counseling, and like counseling is like, well, I haven't never really been to any counseling, so I don't want to make it seem like I've been to counseling, but
Mhm.
I'm open to counseling, but you mentioned counseling, which is very very important, because you said, like, when your best friend passed away, you went and you had some counseling. When was the moment when it was like, man, I have I need help? When it was like you came to grips with yourself and you was honest with yourself, like you look yourself in the mirror, you look yourself in your eyes and you say, you know what, I need help. I got to see somebody. Where you strip away that egotistical pride of a man, and that ego and stuff like that, man. Like, when was that moment that it hit you?
I I I clearly remember it, and I was living in Virginia, and I was going through so many things at the same time, um, reliving certain stuff. And when I knew it was a time is when I was actually lying to people and telling them I was busy doing stuff, and I was really just in my room in the dark, just laying on my bed.
Man.
When it will be like, "Hey, Chris, whatever, whatever," and I'd be like, "I'm busy doing whatever," but really and truly, I was in the dark, just laying in my bed, just there. And one day, I went to work, and the job I was at, I was what's the word? I was well known. People like to mainly deal with me in certain stuff.
Yeah.
So one of the guys in, like, what department was he in? Um Social relations, right?
Okay,
Social
so
relations. Yeah, counseling and therapy are two different things. Okay, yeah, that's true.
yeah, that's true. That's
Um,
true. That's
yeah.
true. That's
Um,
true.
he came to me. He saw me walking down the hall. He was like, "Hey, Chris, how are you?" Just regular conversation. And he was like, "You know what?" He was like, he pulled me aside and he was like, "Man, I talked I talked about you in my meeting the other day." I'm like, "For what?" He was like, "Man, you I don't know what it is about you, man, but I only want to deal with certain important things if you're involved, because I know, number one, like, I will get it done, and you're such a pleasure to be around. Like, you know what I mean?"
Yeah.
And when I listening to this man, and I saying to myself, like, this man don't know. And I just sometimes just be at home in the dark in my room. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
said to myself, I say, after the conversation, and we engage in a conversation, was a good thing. He was like, "Yo, what you doing today? I'm gonna buy you lunch today." And I'm like, cool, man. I just chilling, man. I might actually just work through my lunch. He was like, "You know what? I'm gonna get you lunch and I'm gonna bring it to your office. No questions asked." So when I get home that day and I went to my room, I I say, "I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more." So I I made a decision. I reached out. I did some research, and throughout the program for my job had it. It helped me find someone, and from there it was like started to go to sessions and tap into some things that I mentally put aside, things that I didn't even remember happened, but it
Wow.
happened, and it was like, what? Like, oh crap! Like, yeah, I remember, and I started to get indulged, and I started to like, and from there, as hard as it was, I knew hard work wasn't hard for me to do. It ain't easy for everybody, so I don't want to
Yeah.
come off that way. But
That's
for
true.
me, I wasn't afraid to too much touch certain things because I knew I needed it. And where else can I go from here? You know what I mean? Where else can I go from here? So it was like it became from staying in a room to put more effort in my workouts, starting to find different things to do, outside of the room. And because my room was my solace, so it was my getaway. And take off the clothes by my mom, lights off, lay in the bed, and
Yeah.
just sit there for hours, Mumba, for hours. By the
It's
time I
rough,
blink,
man.
is like 12 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm just still there. And it's crazy that I'm saying this because I've never really, really went into detail. And if my family watching, they'll probably be like, whatever. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like, is what it is. It's what Cboogie Talks is about. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I appreciate you for asking that question because I've never. It's besides the first time I talk on my live, I never really touched the reason or what brought me to the moment of realizing that. I just understood that I didn't want to live this double thing. I didn't want the people to see me a certain way at day, and then where I go out as night, I can't be that same person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted to be Chris. I wanted to fully be Chris. You know what I mean? Like even my performance in certain games, people would be like, they wouldn't really get on my case, but they knew something was off. If something
Yeah.
ain't right. You had 30 last game. No, you barely had 5. What's what's going on?
Yeah. You
You know
just
what I
there. You
mean?
just floating. You floating. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. You just floating. So my boy, that was the moment when I understood that was time. I was afraid because, like I said, the stigma is that we ain't supposed to really talk about certain things.
Yeah.
I didn't, and the person for me was a female, and and it it made it so it was like it was easy because I'm not saying if I had a guy it wouldn't be easy, but I looked at it as I um I was raised by all women, yo, and being around the female species is easy for me. That's just what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it was easy. She didn't judge me. She asked me some tough questions, but she didn't judge me. She made me feel like this was a safe space. And the more I went, the more it was like I had moments I left in tears. It took me like an hour to drive home after the session because it was some hard stuff I came upon. And you know what I mean? She always told me that we can only go as far as you want to go. But at the same time, I'm going to challenge you. I'm not going to let you just come here and no, I don't feel like doing it today. I just let you leave. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because she said maybe the first or second time in the beginning because it's new, but after that, my job is to help you, and me letting you leave is not helping. You know what I mean? So my thing is for people who hasn't done it, um, do your research. You know what I mean? You could find out a little backgrounds about whoever it is you want to talk to.
Yeah.
Um, you have power over who you choose to want to talk to. Like if I felt that I was being attacked, I I, I could have choose to be like, I don't want you no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's for me. It brought me to see Boogie Talks. It brought me to understand that before, and I've never heard nobody tell me this. She said, before you're a man, you're a human being, Mr. Henry.
It's the thing, and that's it right there.
And I
That's it
was
right
like,
there.
I never been told that before. Never been told that before. Before you're a man, you're a human being. So why is it that I'm a woman and I could cry and you can't cry? Why is it that I'm a woman and I could talk to my husband about my feelings, but he can't talk to me? Because we're human beings first,
Facts.
and we were built with emotions. Like if you couldn't feel these things, you wouldn't have it. If you couldn't feel these different emotions, or you couldn't feel like you want to talk to somebody, it wouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
And she was like, the step for everything going forward, Mr. Henry, is here today. And like I said, that key thing stayed in my mind. Before you're a man, you're a human being. And I'm like, damn, man, you're absolutely right. And
Facts.
till this day, I'd sometimes say it before whoever were human beings. You know what I mean? And let's not, as somebody mentioned, let's not let social media and society try to pin us differently.
Yeah.
Let's change the narrative. Let's kind of change the narrative of how we were taught growing up. You know what I mean? And she's the first person to say to me as well, men and women failed men. She said the men failed men because they would tell them, you know, you can't, you got, you know, you go, you can't cry. You're supposed to cry, man up, man up, man up.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah,
the
yeah.
women part, and not all women, and not all men, but
Yeah.
generally speaking,
Yeah,
you know,
majority would be what to say.
women would tell men like, yo, me want no soft dude, you're a punk. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it leaves us at a imbalance of how to be, you know what I mean? And we just did it. And then when we get older, it's like he don't want to talk to me. He don't want to do things because this is how we were taught to be. This is how
yeah,
we were told to be. You know what I mean? And she laid on so many things to me that till this day sticks in my mind, man. And and I'm been Virginia. To be honest, since I moved back to Maryland, I haven't found anyone which I'm in search of. And only been
yeah,
Maryland for 2 years, about 2 years. But I always say, since when the pandemic slowed down, because I working in a hospital, so they might have protocols. You can't just go in, whatever. But now things
yeah,
calm down. I want to go and visit her, and I want to make her aware, of like, yo, this is where you helped. This is where you helped
yeah.
me to start. You know what I mean? And I tell her think about her all the time, and I said to myself, I have to go back when I get a chance, really, and just vibes with her, man. I just let her know I thank you. Because who she is, she'll tell me, this couldn't happen without you. She'll tell me that, which is of course the truth.
That's true.
But
Yeah,
at the same time, I also let her know that who you are allowed me to have this moment to be this way. I said, because my friends will tell you, like, my boy, I would have like I would sit on in front of people like in my younger years, and they would pour their heart out to me and be like, "You don't have nothing to say," and I do, but I didn't know how, so I'll just be like, "No," and it'll make me look frig up, which I want to tell them like I ain't frig up. I just don't know how to. I don't know how to relate to you like this. I don't know how to give you what you're giving me.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And this woman helped me to shift, and I could now shift to my boys. I shift to the platform, I shift to wherever I need to shift to because we're human beings, my boy. We're men, but we're
facts.
human beings, man. And as I tell you and everybody, I'd rather you cry on my shoulder than to hear you either take your life or somebody shoot up a school or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
I'd rather you come outside your norm and lay it all onto me rather than I hear something tragic happen because you just lose your shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the least judgmental person in the world, and that's easier said than to listen to, but I am.
yeah,
Everybody has their shit, man. Everybody, whether it's small to some, what may be small to you, may be a big deal to somebody else. So you can't make them feel less than because we think it's something. You can't just wave it off like, man, you dealing with that, man. That's nothing, man. To you, it's nothing. And then when you continuously say that, you get people to be like, you know what, these man don't care about me. Fetch that. Like I gonna do this shit or I gonna act out it anyway because nobody don't care anyway. And then all of a sudden, such and such down the news or such and such take their life.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So everybody who listening, I know y'all may not know me personally, but my inbox is open. I'm not a professional at all, but I am a great listener. And if you just need to talk, hey, I dare. I don't care who it is. I dare.
You know, and like what you said, you are a human being first, and the thing is, a lot of people don't understand. They might not even get to the point in their lifetime where they understand like they are a human being, first. How I see it from my point of view is like, the man is like a mask, man. It's like a costume, and it's just like, I always use these words because it's kind of it's very broad, but like it's like it's like your ego and your pride, man. It's like you'll be like, man, you soft, you this, you that, because it's always like an image you got to hold up of to be tough, but all of that stuff it's false, man. It's false. When you're a human being, then you be able to relate to people in many different ways because you be able to like listen. Like you say, your inbox is open. If you when you go into those type of stuff, if you able to have somebody that you could just talk to, where you comfortable of saying whatever, however you feel, and that person is not going to judge you. That person is not going to take it anywhere. They just there to listen. Then they'll talk. They might share some of their experiences to try and help you in a different way that you could see it. Like, you know what? I experienced what you experienced, but this is how I dealt with it. So they kind of helping you and stuff like that. That's important. And I think that's what missing in life today. And it goes back to what you're saying, like being a human being. Because if you're a human being, you definitely will take time to listen to that person. You dealing with that death of your best friend. If you talk to people who have dealt with death of their best friend or dealt with a parent or a brother or a sister or a kid, they will be able to relate to you and more with you and help you. You know what I'm saying? Pertaining to somebody who never really experienced that and don't know the pain and the struggle that you have to deal with every day, losing someone close to you and stuff like that. Because, when somebody died and they're close to you, you realize, like, you know what? I can talk for me doing this and me and doing that. That didn't mean anything whatsoever.
Yeah.
It didn't mean nothing. And it kind of puts, and then it's up to you how much you have control over yourself as a human being compared to how much your pride and ego have control over you, because you could face the truth and you could go ahead and start healing and evolving and being a human being, or you could let your ego and pride take over and be like, man, whatever, and still hold on to that image of being tough. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people still do that and they suffer, but that's why I asked you that, because it's like, the question was not for you, but the question is for people who ever listen, eventually with this episode now and in the future, 10 years, 50 years from now, what I'm saying is like, when you get to that breaking point, are you willing to go seek help or you willing not to seek help? You know what I'm saying? And it's tough, man. It's tough because, the image and is tough, man. It's evil. It's evil. Yeah. When you was going through that, that's under those circumstances, did you have anybody that reached out to you consistently, checking up on you, or it was just like they check up on you once or twice and then they just let you be, and it was just like regular life for them, but you still have to deal with the emotions, the grief, the suffering and the pain repeatedly?
To be honest, Corey Blight, man, that dude came in clutch in a very, damn, I even catch him back like.
Nah, man, you good, man. Take your time, man. If I need to talk, I'll talk, man. I'll let you catch yourself, but the reason why I asked you that is this, and like I tell you, I was talking to this individual on Friday, and it was like when my mother passed away, I remember doing like, like you hear Pan talk about, man, Mumbai, bad boy, this and that, you know what I'm saying? And I try to, go away from that image and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people know me, they know who I is. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't that same person anymore. But I remember growing up as a kid and I went and run, like to the point where I could lose my life in violence and stuff like that for individuals nonstop, and sacrifice my life, and then when my mother passed and stuff like that, it was like, the people them who I think was like, you know, who I was there for, that I was there for too. It wasn't there for me. You know what I'm saying? Like they'd be like, man, my bad, man, condolences, and that was it. That's not enough because me and you go way deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? If I risk my life for you, it's deeper than that. You got to be there for me. You got to check up. You got to check up for me because I did the same for, and I did the same for a lot of people who have lost their kids, you know, their parents, you know, friends. Like I've been there for them nonstop, checking up on them and stuff like that, and it wasn't there for me. And it was only like 3 individuals that was there for me, you know. Robert Jules, you know what I'm saying? Me and Robert we don't talk every day, but Robert I caught COVID.
That's my boy, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
He can't, he had it. Yeah, cool, yeah.
You go ask Robert. I mean, Robert inbox. Hey, man, hope you're doing okay, man. Checking up on you, man. You know, if you need anything, let me know. I'm praying for you. You're in my prayers. You know what I'm saying? And I keep reaching out for him, keep reaching out to him nonstop. And he had COVID. You know, so when my mother passed away, he like reached out for me multiple times, man. You know, over 5 times. You know, same thing with Martha. Last time I talked to Martha was like over 5 years. You know, she sent me out multiple inspirations, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. You know, and then this individual, like I talked to on Friday, same thing. This person reached out to me nonstop. And it really put life in perspective because it was like, damn, like, they didn't really have to do that because we don't really communicate like that nonstop. But, you know, Robert lost his dad, so he could relate to me. Martha lost a family member. I think she lost her dad, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm speaking incorrect, I apologize. But I know she lost someone close to her. You know, she could relate to me. And also Bogus. As soon as Bogus here, Bogus even said, text me. Bogus call me. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to me. Like, shotgun, same thing. Reach out to me quick. You know, and I was really surprised because these are individuals that I don't really talk to like, well, shotgun is big brother, but I don't really talk to like that. You know, for them to reach out to me, it meant a lot. But the individuals like, you know, who reached out to me multiple times, it really hit me. You know what I'm saying? Because you cannot take those friendships for granted, but to be honest with you, they helped me out a lot. They helped me with my healing process and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just their kindness, looking out for me and stuff like that. Because my attitude is like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it is what it is, man. I was there for them. They wasn't there for me. So life goes on. You know, it is what it is. But just seeing them reaching out to me really helped me, you know, cope with my emotions and help me deal with my grief and stuff like that, man. You know, so that's why I asked you that, because people don't realize how powerful words is, you know, and the little things is what matters the most. It's not, man, condolences or writing a long paragraph. I don't need that. Just like check up on me multiple times, like really check up on me. You know what I'm saying? Like really check up on me, and they really like check up on me. Even when I was just going through life, and I started thinking about them, I got a text, I got a message like, hey man, just checking up on you, man, seeing how you're doing, man, seeing how you're holding up. Just those little words like that, man, it really meant so much because it felt like somebody really like cared for me. Like they really care for me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they telling me like, man, you got to do this, you got to go that. You know, it wasn't like, man, go seek therapy, go do this. You know, it wasn't like doing this. It was like, hey, man, just checking up on you. Little things, simple, you know. And it really like, really put life in perspective, man.
Yep.
It really put life in perspective, you know. So that's why I asked you that, man, like who reach out to you, because, you know, those people like that, man, you got to hold on to, you know, for the rest of your life, man, you know, because it's important.
Yeah, man. So, hey, big up to Hops, man. Hey, that's my brother, man. We don't go back and forth we don't go back and forth every day. Every day we don't message each other every day. We grew up together in the church, and from there we just became like, that's my guy, man. That's my guy. But so to answer the question, like
wait, sorry, real quick before you go, I definitely want to give a shout out to Jamal Young, shout out to Neg, shout out to Vinci, shout out to Chino, shout out to Annie Rivera, Young Mother, you know, shout out to Haywood, his sister, you know, definitely shout out to them, you know, shout out to and my sister boyfriend mother and stuff like that. I definitely want to give them a shout out because they came to my mom viewing and stuff like that. and a
Oh
teacher
yeah,
from St. Patrick's. Yes, so
shout out to all of them for sure,
yeah,
man.
definitely
That's
shout out. Yeah,
very
Young Neg.
powerful.
Yeah, Young Neg, Chino, Vinci, they my brothers for life. I got them close in my heart. I would die for them. I give them a kidney. That's how close. That's how it is between me and them. So I definitely want to put that on the platform, so I don't forget about them. Anybody
Oh
else
yeah,
I forget
man.
to apologize.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
big up to them for sure. That's always great, man. And
yeah,
Corey Blight, man, that man had a very detrimental point, man. The man that was the man. Little words. I get you. I get you. Whatever. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got you. And the man live up to it. The man
okay,
live up to it every day. The man live up to it every day. Every day the man live up to his word. And me and Corey, we go way back from kids. But you know, this man without hesitation, it was like, I get you. You know what I mean? And yeah, like I said, it was a real critical point that I just deal with something, and it was like a real bad vibes. And man, like I get you. And it's crazy. It's crazy that you asked me that too, because I was thinking about this exact thing when you asked me the other day, and I kind of like I don't want to. So I've been considered the strong person, as you've been saying. You know what? People
yeah,
will sometimes look and be like, you know what? Chris is going to be okay. And I questioned myself, right? And I said, did I do such a good job in masking things that people got so accustomed of seeing me be this
mhm,
way, that they're so accustomed of me being that way that they don't think to worry about me? Did I give them that persona of myself?
I like what you mentioned. Okay, yeah,
Did I attribute to the thought process of how people view things? You know what I mean? And I did real I thought real, and it's crazy. It's just literally days ago I thought about this.
hmm
Days ago. I have it texted my phone to myself. Literally like days ago, did I give the persona that I was okay, that people really believed it?
hmm
And I thought to myself, like, damn man, not blaming myself, but I had to just question myself, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
throughout the years, it was always looked at, Chris is gonna be okay. Since I've been young, people felt like I didn't have to, and to a certain extent, my maturity level and how I carried myself, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But certain situations, I guess people see me like either bounce back from it, or saw that I wasn't too much affected, but I was just affected on my own terms. I
true.
didn't allow you to see it. I didn't allow you to see me think. I would have a moment to myself and just, you know, like I tell you, when Alaba come to my grandmother house and he said he wanted me to come complex, and she said no, it may have looked like I just let go, but I cried in my room for like a week.
Yeah,
Like this was big. Like she probably didn't think it was that big. She probably thought it was just whatever, but it was big to me, because here's this coach sitting here telling you he wants your grandchild to come here. And no blame to her. You know what I mean? I love that woman to life.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean? But she wanted me to stay in private school, and I wanted that experience. And here's this guy just show up. I didn't know he was coming. He just show up. And I'm like, damn, I have to be that good for him to come. And when it was like, at the end of the day, I just, next day was good morning, get ready for school. But when I came home from school, back in my room, like, I can't believe this. She said no. And I go sick in my room. But when she see me, I cool. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So throughout the years, I think I've been that person for everyone, for a lot of people, man. For a lot of people. I've been the strong one for a lot of people, that I
yeah,
think a lot of times I've just been, you know, overlook. Like, you know what, Chris gonna be okay, man. Probably even till this day.
Yeah, it's
Till
true.
this day.
I never see it that way, but I 100% understand that perspective, and that's true, man. I never thought about that. That's true. That's true. That's why it's so
Yeah.
important having these conversations, because I just learned something from you thinking about that, man. That puts stuff in a different perspective too.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, man. And and I just have to say, like you said, man, like till this day, Corey. So he actually Corey lives in Utah now. He and his family lives in Utah. But
Okay.
till this day, man, that like you just mentioned it, man. I will take a bullet for that dude, man. I would protect that dude and his family with all that I have because of who he's been to me and consistently, even up to this day. Like you said, we since he moved Utah, we don't talk other than in group chats. We don't talk every day, but at the same time, we know it's love. You know what I mean? There's no question. There's no questions asked. There's no question asked. So, I mean, to answer that question, during that time, Corey Blight, man, that guy. And as time went by, like what I mean. Of course, my wife, Robert Jules, people along the ways. I have some strong people in my corner, but to that specific question, during that time in my life,
Yeah.
Corey Blight, because, and I don't want to put nobody on the spot or anything, but just speaking the truth, when
Yeah.
I made people aware of what had happened, you know what I mean? They for that moment it was like whatever you need, we get you. But it was for that moment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was
Yeah.
like you say, it wasn't a like, yo, how you feel about this? How is your everyday? My boy, and I'll be open and honest with you. And I don't want to say what it is. I mean, I could tell you, me and you, and I know, if no advice to anybody is nothing, but I don't want
Yeah.
to go into detail if that's cool.
No, no, it's cool, man. It's however
But
you want to go, brother. I respect, I respect your way how you got it.
but during that time, I I must I woke up in tears because of what happened. I woke up and I'm like, I can't believe I'm here, yo. Like, how did this all happen? And the endless messaging from Corey and his wife, and the endless "you okay" and the endless showing me love was like, that's what kept me afloat them every
Yeah.
day, every day, every day. And it like I say, I dare for that man and his family till the day I died. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You like you said, you can never give up on people like that. If you get somebody like that in your life, man, like, is so refreshing and important. It goes to show so far.
Yeah. It's true, man, because they kind of save your life, man. Not saying you will take your life or stuff like that, but they save your life because they put you, their support put you on the right track, to heal and to find your way. So I'm gonna ask you a question, right?
Mhm.
Well, I gonna say with some, so like, for instance, with me, when certain music come on, when a certain beat or a certain tone come on, I get emotional because it reminds me of my mom. You see what I'm saying? So, and I like I like like I'll tell you, like, man, like I'll say like I cry maybe 3 times or 4 times a week, but like I'll cry, and I mostly cry in the car because I be listening to music. And when I listen to music, it's music that's inspirational, that really hits you, like, so like a Bob Marley, like a Tupac. This singing from the heart and the soul. So like I'll cry because like I get memories and stuff like that. Then I start like meditating and thinking, about life and seeing stuff from different perspective of becoming a better human being, not becoming a better man, becoming a better human being. You know what I'm saying? It could be like me just in public, just like, lifting up my eyebrows, being more attractive to people. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I'm more, attractive to them, friendlier, where you just never know if somebody's going through something, a tough time. Because like I'll tell you this story, right? Sorry to kind of get off track.
No, you good. You good.
So when I got back from dealing with my mom's situation and stuff like that, I had to come back. So I came back to work. I took like 10 days off or something like that. And I came back to work, so I deal with like customers and stuff like that, because I deal with like the internet and all that stuff, fiber optic and, along the line with that. And first come back, man, first day, some lady was cussing me out. And I started laughing to myself and I said, damn, I'll tell you that it's two of them. So this lady is cursing me out. And I'm saying to myself, like, damn, man, this lady who herself know I lost my mom. And it put everything into perspective about how I react to somebody in the streets. I react to somebody how they drive. I react to somebody wherever I'm at. If they're doing something that's crazy, right? It changed my perspective on how I react and view that person.
Yeah.
Because this lady was frustrated because of her internet and her kid can't do college classes and all that stuff. But she didn't know what I was going through.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? So like it put everything in perspective and stuff like that. Like I think about when I listen to music. So I'll cry a lot, but the crying is just healing me because it's just letting the pain go. And I let it happen no matter what. Like I don't fight the tears. I just let it flow and I deal with the pain and stuff like that. So I'm asking you, like, is there anything that kind of triggers those emotions for you? Is it music? Is maybe someone that sounds like whoever, like, I don't want to say whoever, I apologize, but like, the people that you lost, is it like a music? Is it something that triggers you or no?
Yeah, my music too, man. Boss, music is man. Music is so, just like you say, it's so many dynamics to it, man. And so in my last one I did, the Cboogie Chats, I talked about my same guy talked about my best friend Keith Fredericks, and this man knew every Sizzla song there is to know, word for word. And I'm like, number one, Sizzla has so many albums, and there's no album that he don't know the songs. And I'm like, when do you have time for this? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
when I hear Sizzla and Black Woman and Child, man, because I remember him playing it, and I remember him folding his hand just like this, yeah, and just laying back and just, he ain't saying the words out loud, but he just saying them.
yeah,
I remember looking at this man like, this man, because we were young, right?
yeah.
But now, when I hear Black Woman and Child, dude, it's like, or Sizzla in general, is like, it just takes me to different memories of him, and it puts me in, like you say, it puts me in some emotional places because that was my dude, man. And the same aspect, um my uplifting song for everything I've been through, Marvin Sapp, Deeper.
Okay, Marvin Sapp, yeah.
Marvin Sapp, Deeper, that song there, it, it it even to this moment, like if I was supposed to be put in a space and I had like one or two songs to just, I could only pick one or two songs, that song would be one of my songs. Marvin Sapp, Deeper. It's such a touching and still like uplifting song, basically saying this, like where we at right now, this isn't it. God is bigger than this. We're meant to do more. Now, no matter where we are right now, in whatever situation, wherever we are, wherever heartache, wherever trial we are, is something always bigger. So you have that moment, but don't stay in that moment, because life is much bigger than this moment. And that song, man, that song there, whew. So Sizzla and Marvin Sapp, Deepa, like that's my two songs, man. That's the songs I could definitely relate to what you saying.
Yeah. For me, the song like that'll help me is Unconditional Love by Tupac.
Mm,
Unconditional Love. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that song is a deep song, man. You know, it really puts stuff in perspective because when you lose someone close to you, you know what I'm saying, and it affects you like that, that's that unconditional love. You know what I'm saying, that you have for that person, you know? And sometimes it's like you ask, and I speaking for myself. So, you know, sometimes it's like I ask myself, like, man, did I do enough for that person to know how much I love them?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Because they can't feel the pain that is left behind. And my time gonna come when I go and somebody who had that unconditional love for me, they gonna feel what I feel. So
mm-hmm.
it's always gonna be there. That's just the way how life is. You know what I'm saying? But that song to really like, you know, put it in perspective for me. It makes me sad, it made me cry, but then it makes me happy at the same time. You know what
Yep,
I'm
yep,
saying?
yep.
Just being able to somebody have that impact in me in my life to help me become a better person in life, that I could help other people become better person in their life too. You know, so that unconditional love, you know, you learn about it and then you kind of, for me, I just spread it, as as a human being and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
know,
man, yeah,
so
man, yeah, man.
yeah, man.
And real quick,
Yeah, yeah,
big up to Miss Bryson. She said she lost her, her brother 12 years ago, but it still feels like yesterday. And is like what you said earlier, Mumba, like
yeah,
it when you lose someone close to you, man, the impact, no matter how long ago, no matter when, the impact gonna be the impact, yo. And I know it's been 12 years, Miss Bryson, but
yeah.
condolences to you.
Well, this
And
is
Titus, you point some real strong vibes in the chat, so I appreciate that as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true, tight. Yeah, you know. So for So now I like to look at it like this, right? You know, we kind of we was talking about, you know, when someone close to us pass, you know, has is there a different meaning for happiness for you before that happened and after dealing with that situation?
Yeah, and I know I mainly touching on my partner Keith, but two people close to the person before him was my grandmother on my father's side, Rita Henry, and I I I ain't talking too much about her yet because she's in further down. She won't be part of my Cboogie chats, but
Okay.
you know it is because when I losing two of them at different times, I I did lost a sense of happiness. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because before I went to school in New York, my grandmother, she gave me those long yellow pads.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got
Um,
one right, Chapman. You talk about these?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yes.
The man, she write down 3 pages of phone numbers of family members I had in New York,
Wow.
and she's like,
Man.
"Look, when you get to New York, if you have a moment, reach out to these people because these people are waiting to hear from you." And I'd always still to this day think about it because I have so much memories in New York. I met so much amazing family in New York that they remember me from when I was a kid or whatever, and I don't remember them, or we've probably crossed paths and I just didn't know that was a family member or whatnot. So, losing my grandmother and Keith at certain points in time, like when I lost my grandmother, it was in college. I was in 2003. I was in Monroe College, and I failed the rest of the semester. And the administration were willing to allow me. They had a meeting. They had a real data meeting. I was surprised, and they didn't have to do this, man. But they had a meeting, and all my professors they re, they reported and said, "Look, after this happened to Jimmy Henry, his grades just went down, and we could fail him, but in all right, I would like for us, and Mumba, when I meet all of them, I would probably only continue to pass like one of my C plus plus computer class, which I don't even know how, because that was the hardest class. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
all of them would meet me in a room, and we sit down and we talk for like an hour, and all of them pinpoint and say, we're going to give you just this, we're all going to give you this one project. Two of them said they're going to give me a test, and if you pass or think, oh, Alicia, this is your grade and you could go forward. I was like, that was compassion, yo. Like,
Yeah.
y'all didn't have to do this, you know
It's
what I
true.
mean? And it kind of geared my progression. Like, of course I didn't forget, but it kind of geared me to understand, like, man, okay, this is a sign that you have to finish. This is a sign that you have to keep going, because they could have just failed me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we all know it have that one or two. It gets some professors that really, especially in college. I'm like, hey, if you ain't show up, you ain't show up. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. Thank
if you
you.
ain't show up,
Don't care.
hey, oh, you ain't here, bam. Okay, bam. And I did what I had to do. I grinded. I passed my test. Them. I did all my computer projects. Turned them in, and I was good to go. You know what I mean? And with my partner Keith, his his family was my gear to gain back that happiness, because when he passed away, I I moved down, not moved, but I rented a hotel out in Virginia, and I just stayed there. Answered no phone calls. I didn't want nobody to find me, and I just stayed there. And his family, his cousins and his aunt, they they were my stepping stone, and my family, after I get out of that little slump,
Yeah.
you know, we held a little personal service for him in Maryland. But still, his family were my building block to get back to just understanding how great he was as an individual. In my chat, I I talk about when his aunt invited me to like a family trip, and I was able to see his urn, because he died from a heart attack. He was a really big guy,
Yeah.
and he had to be cremated. And when I picked up the urn, I still made a joke and I said, dude, even in passing, you still heavy. Like,
Yeah.
so you know what I mean? And they allow me to have that moment just to stare at it. I've been there for a while, just like, man, you know what I mean? And so they helped me get back to a better place in that situation. And we in one of my earlier lives, I had his cousins them on, but because they do a podcast as well. But they've been very instrumental to, my moving forward process.
Yeah.
So it was that moment of the happiness. Cause the man, me and Keith used to the man every day, every single day, and it was to the point that like if I ain't calling over, I'd be like, the man, you didn't see what time it is. You didn't even hit me up all day. What going on? Like, but that's how we was, the man, since we were
Yeah.
kids, the man. You know what I mean? So it was cool, the man. So when I lost him, man, it was like my every day became like, I didn't, after a certain point of time, I didn't want to accept no phone calls, because this will be the time, like, the man, I know you finishing work late. Let me at least stay on the phone so the man can reach home safe or whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
uh,
Little
for a very
things.
long time, at that time space, I didn't talk to nobody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But through everything, yeah, I get back to my space. And even just like I said, last week when I did the live, I think I needed to do that for him and me. For him and me. And while I talking about him now, Cboogie Talks, man, I'm being given this, is like, he saw something in me in all aspects that I couldn't find to see myself. I just lived as who I knew. I was. And he saw me greater. So I feel like giving certain things, all of me would be, in a weird sense, an injustice to him because he saw Chris for just more than Chris.
Yeah.
He saw Chris as like everything he did, he compared it to me. And I used to get frustrated, like, dude, I ain't even do you nothing. So just know if I lose weight, I'm gonna be better than you. Like, why me? Like, you know what I mean?
Man, that's
But
deep, man. It's
it's
deep. It's
understanding
deep.
like the way he saw me, man. Like in the live, I said he used to brag about me in basketball so much, Mumba. People will come to my house to play me one-on-one, and I didn't know who these people was.
Yeah.
Like, dude, who are you? I don't know, but this man was talking about you. The man said you could play ball. I want to see. And the only one time I lost was against Dean Martin.
And that's not a bad person to lose too.
Yeah, yeah,
Rest in
yeah.
peace to Dean, by the way,
Yeah,
too.
rest in peace to Dean. He used to talk to Dean about me because, of course, you know Dean and Barley's whatever. He used to talk to Dean about me because he and Dean were like this,
Yeah.
and that's how me and Dean get like this too because of he. And Dean was like, the man, I gotta meet this Chris. So when he fought Dean first see me, he was like, of course, because he bigger than me. But when we got on the court, he was like, dude, me ain't gonna lie, like I win, but it wasn't no easy win.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to walk.
Yeah, he
You
had
have
to
to
walk
walk.
still.
Yeah.
And and that was just who he was to me, man. Like he saw way more in me than I saw myself. He bragged about me. He used to tell everybody about me. People who to some people I'm to this day a myth because some people have never met me. And he
Yeah,
always
you're,
talking about it's Chris. So I
yeah.
feel like certain things I just sometimes be like, you know what, Keith, my body, but I will keep going. Again.
Yeah. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Miss Bryson. Big up, Tyrone Alec. Big up. The way how the way how you was to Keith, right? How like he believed in you. Like he bragged to so many different people about you, right? I never had anyone. I never view anyone like that. So I'm gonna ask you: have you ever had somebody like that? Like the way how like you was to Keith. Was there anybody like that to you? The way like how he believed in you, because you don't really see that a lot in a lot of people.
Mhm.
So it kind of speaks volumes the type of individual he was. Like he believed in you. So like the way how you describing it is like, man, like you had like a major impact in his life. You know what I'm saying? Like for him to feel that way about you. Because not many people do that, man. You know what I'm saying? To like the way how you describing it to that extent. So like I'm asking you, like did you have anybody you view that way?
Not to that extent, I would say. Um, Honestly, Carlos Hawkins, because I grew up with Carlos in East. Um, and a lot of people didn't see what I saw.
Yeah.
Of course, there are other people who used to see, but I went to a private school and I always used to talk about, yo, Carlos Ross, cheese on bread, this man. And everybody be like, who's Carlos? Like, who's this? You know what I mean? And they wouldn't know, you know what I mean? They wouldn't know. But Carlos Hawkins and Nigel Trim. Nigel Trim was the guy who actually pushed me to put a ball in my hand because he he was the older brother I never had. He also used to brag about me, but I saw him to be like, damn man, this man gets so much swag, yo. What fetch here? The man gets swag. The man could have played, but he always wanted to push me to be better than I was yesterday. The man used to be like, yeah, yeah, playing like this, but when my boy come, he gonna show how you. I remember he drew. I had it was Leonard Richards. Leonard Richards. Leonard Richards went to Central, and at that time when I was growing up, we used to we used to battle, but he had an edge over me because he was playing since he was young. I started at 13, 13 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These men were playing since whatever, so that man had an edge. But as I got better, I moved. I moved to Princess, and Nigel came and picked me up and he said, "Listen, we got 2-on-2 to go to." I like, what? He said, "Yeah, I tell him I'm going for Chris." So I went for me, and it was this one specific court that I used to always hear about, but I never played. I was in Richmond, and it wasn't that. It wasn't. It was like a court that man built. It wasn't too high. It wasn't too low. It was just right. And the man come for me, and long behold, Leonard was there, and another partner. And Mumma, when I mean I gave him the business, the man, I gave him the business. And I think my last play, I didn't even realize it. Like Nigel like chopped the ball and I caught it and I pushed it in. I didn't realize that it was a dunk or whatever, but whatever. And even the partner playing with Lena, like, yo, I remember you being good, Chris, but whatever you doing, or whatever y'all doing, Nigel, whatever how you having this man, damn. And I didn't think about nothing more than this man coming to come and get me. That I didn't think about a game afterwards. I didn't think about nothing. Like, he didn't have to come and get me.
Yeah.
But going back to the question, Carlos and Nigel Trim, because them two as well, I saw beyond what people saw. Not as deep as like how Keith talk about me, but if I could remember two names, I could say those two names right there.
Yeah, man. Condolences, Andrew, man. Condolences. That's tough, man. That's tough.
Month of March.
That's tough,
condolences,
man.
Yeah, man. Because this is the month of March, and I can imagine a couple days ago, March 16th.
Yeah.
So condolences to you, Titus. Condolences to you for
sure.
Man.
Condolences, this indeed. Yeah, man.
Hey, again, man. I definitely I know I say it once, twice, 3 times, but I appreciate this, man. This, and to be truthful, to be honest, to be honest, I could go as far as saying Iron Man, because out of everything I talk about, I mentioned the Elite Podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything I talk about the Elite Podcast. I talk about y'all. Even my wife know y'all know it firsthand. Like, the Elite Podcast. Yeah. So if I could go as far as saying y'all, man, too, because I had it set in my mind what I wanted to do, but watching y'all, my peers, y'all, where I come from, the man, it just gave me that extra like push to do this. Yeah. You know what I mean? So again, I appreciate for having me on the platform twice. This is love, man.
It's our love, brother. It's our love, man. We'd like to have you back on again in the future, man. Is because like honestly, man, like I keep it real, man. It's like, I created a podcast. Why I created a podcast for a reason and stuff like that. But like me, like, I don't know, man. It's like I enjoy listening to people's stories, and listening to hear, what people go through and stuff like that. I really like that. And I just really like giving people a platform where the family and future generations could kind of learn about their, the individual and stuff like that. That's kind of my main focus, pretty much. I don't have any passion to do it, but I enjoy doing it. You know what I'm saying? Once the person willing to come on and talk and, and share this story, I more than welcome them. And for me, I've really like gotten away from sports, it's a sports first podcast, because we want to hear the story, but the sport is not the most important thing. Is their journey and how they dealt with, you know, their journey
Yeah,
and how they dealt with adversity. That's why I like to get out to the individuals, you know, like me and you having like deep conversation right now, you know, about death and healing and stuff like that, you know, and that's important, man, because really and truly when you and I just experience it, a lot of people experience it. When you experience that type of pain and stuff like sports and stuff don't really matter, man. It's just like
yeah,
whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we just, you know, we always want the individuals to understand it's not even stuff about the sport, it's about you. You know, because sometimes you talking about your story, it kind of heals you at the same time when you get stuff
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm here for, man. And like you mentioned, man, you might do a podcast and you might have one view or zero view. You know, and that's the same thing with me, man, is like it's not even stuff about the view, it's about the person. Once I know I've made that person feel happy and they're satisfied coming on the platform and sharing their story, you know, that's the most important thing, man. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, you know, that's why it's like I was like, man, I got you on. And I was like, man, I gotta get Chris back on, man. Because when I watch your podcast and I hear you talking about like the different stuff, like I'm a big fan, man. You know, and I'd always
Appreciate it,
be on
appreciate it.
Facebook. Sometimes I'd be so busy that I'd forget you be on live and stuff like that. So like I don't really be on Facebook that much. So like I'd be like, man, you know, I gotta get Chris back on. And you know, like I mentioned to you, like, you know, in the backstage before we got live, like same thing with Mountain, you know, I want to get him on again, let him talk about what he's doing. Like we learn about what he did, but he's doing greater things now. So I want him to come back on and talk about that. And like, you know, I would love to get Andre back on, Miss Bryson back on. You know, we just chop it up and talk about life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like people
yeah, yeah.
on the second time, let's talk about life. Let's talk about stuff that's painful. Let's talk about stuff that could help us grow and help us think and stuff like that. Like me and you talking about stuff like I saw some stuff different perspective, and you see stuff a different perspective way. And I was like, man, Chris, right, man. I never thought about it that way. So like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
learned so
yeah.
much. You know what I'm saying? So moving forward, like now I have a different mindset. I learned something from you today, man. I learned so much. You know, so that's kind of what I'm doing now with the podcast, man. I'm more than welcome sports people, but you know, it's deeper than sports, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's deeper than sports. But I'm just trying to preserve people history, man. If they want to talk about it, you know, it's more than welcome, man. You know, I ain't gonna pressure anybody and stuff like that, you know. So I don't want anybody to think like I don't care. I just don't have no. I don't really have any motivation, just because my time is so precious right now because I'm doing so much stuff. Like I never imagined what I was doing, and I never once complained about it. So like
Yeah,
time is
yeah,
precious. You know what I'm saying? So you know, if somebody can make it, let's do it, man. And like I just give the person the flow and let them talk. You know what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Let them
yeah.
talk, man. You know, but you know, I always appreciate you showing love too, man. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
for sure, for sure, for
Always,
sure.
man. Always, man. You know, like in 15 minutes, we wrap it up, man. I don't know if you're busy, you got stuff to do, man. You know, but
Yeah,
you
I
know,
gonna say after this I gonna do my I gonna do I have a little 45 to share on my they're gonna be Cboogie chats, so it'll
yeah,
be a
yeah,
little
man.
45. But yeah,
Yeah,
man, hey, that's all great vibes, man. I mean, you know, as I've said many times, I tell my American friends that even though we're US territory, we still, I just tell them, you see me here, right? It wasn't as easy as you see, you know what I mean? There were efforts made for me to be here, conscious decisions. And I come from a small island.
yeah,
I mean, I come from a small island. I have cultural stuff that you would never understand. You don't know how it is to fetch water from a cistern. You don't know about, hurricane. I mean, and I always first say I don't want to dispute anybody else's journey, because just like they don't know, I don't know. But at the same time, if you ain't come from an island, there's certain stuff you guaranteed not to know. You know what I mean? You ain't
yeah.
know having to prepare for a Category 5 hurricane and having
That's
to deal
true.
with the aftermath. Like, it's some different vibes. You know what I mean? So coming from the Virgin Islands and being here on a platform with my boy with VI Legend, and having people tune in is like it's great vibes, man. I never would have thought I'd have been here. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I never thought I'd have been here, but I'm glad to be here. Glad to be a part of this. Glad to share my story. Glad to share knowledge. Glad to do whatever it takes. And like you say, if it's 200 or it's one, I still gonna get what I have to get because that one person could listen and be like, you know what? I'm not gonna take my life today. Chris make me feel like I could do or be more than my situation.
yeah,
Mumba,
true.
Pang, and Tiga make me feel like I could look a different direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's true.
it's it's a great thing, man. It's a great thing, and I definitely appreciate the space.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I appreciate you. I was being honest, man. And definitely rest in peace to all the individuals that you lost close in your life, man. And we kind of went in depth talking about Keith Fredericks, man. Definitely rest in peace to him. You know what I'm saying? Um, I kind of like talking. I want how I could say it's kind of like when you talk about somebody that passed away, it's kind of like you giving them the kind of that respect. You know what I'm saying? That's how I view it. I view it like a
Mhm.
respect, like how you kind of give it, keep Frederick his respect, his appreciation, the impact that he left on you, because he left something on you that you're going to continue living with and you're going to be using for the greater good and not for greater bad. So, like he left his mark and is a positive mark, man. So like, I think, the best you could do is just always show proper respect, like what you did for your friend, man. You know what I'm saying? And not just like, forget about it and stuff like that, man. I think that's important, man. And I appreciate you really, 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 be honest with us, man, and tap it in, and digging deep with some of the stuff, man. You know,
Oh yeah, man, for sure, man.
yeah,
He
man.
really important person in my life, and even when I had my son, man, the man was like, "Yo, you have another you here, yo." Like, you know what I mean? And when he finally meet my son, he was like, "Damn, man, I holding Chris' son," and even then, it was still pleasure, you know what I mean, for him to still like he this is Chris's son. You know what I mean? This is what
Yeah.
he's saying. This is Chris's son. And before he passed away, he was scheduled to have the bypass surgery, and
Mm.
then after he catch himself, he'd relocate to Maryland. And this man was still at it. I gonna get more woman than you. I gonna finally get the thing you on the court. And I'm like, what is your problem, yo? Like, dude, what is wrong with you, dude? Like, did I do something in the afterlife? And real talk, he said, you know what, Chris? I gonna be honest with you. You you don't make me upset, but in a good way, because you have something great and you don't know, but the fact that
Wow.
you don't see it does you ain't cocky about it. You ain't an asshole. You just moving every day as Chris. You comfortable with who you are, and but you're like, ain't nothing I see you do that you couldn't do. Ain't people I never see people attract to nobody how people attract to you. And I was just like, I can't tell you what it is. I just me. He said, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The fact that you just being you and comfortable being you is inspiring to me.
Mm.
And
Wow.
he said sometimes he said, I's a big dude, Chris. I ain't gonna be throwing the bush. I big. I can't do certain things that you could do. And the fact that you could do certain things and you're not asshole about it or you're not jack or nothing like that, like it's like, yo, if I could be like anybody, I could be like this man kind of vibes. You know what I mean? And when he break that down to me, like months before he passed away, being older, I was like, you know what? After all these years, I get now. You know what I mean? I get.
Damn, bro. That's crazy. Where you mentioned, I was gonna ask you that because I was gonna ask you. This is what I was gonna ask you. Like, Was he ever he because you say like he don't stop. He was always upbeat, always positive. That was his motto, like his vibe. It seemed like.
Yeah, because he always say, he was like, one thing I came to realize is that I know he's a big dude. So what you could say to me, I fat, I know that.
Yeah.
I know I fat. Like, so what else you could say? So he was his own walking confidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I fat, but I ain't fat and I ain't ugly. I ain't I ain't fat and you know I's a smart dude. Yo, he was smart.
Yeah.
This man was really smart. So he never really complained. He never
Mm,
complained. Like, it depends on certain things. He'd be like, "Come on, Chris, you know I can't do that." You know what I
yeah.
mean? But he didn't complain about it. He just went through life. You know what I mean? So if he was any way towards himself, it wasn't too much that I saw. You know what I mean? The only one time I see him break down was because he started to smoke, and I gained a big argument with him about his cigarettes.
Yeah.
And he basically was like, "Yo, you, this is my vice to everything in life. You could go out and do certain things, and I can't." You know what I mean? But other than that, man, he ain't nothing you gotta tell him. You couldn't tell this dude he didn't look good. You couldn't tell him certain things, whatever, whatever, whatever. He he was his walking confidence.
That's why I asked you that because when you said like before he was gonna get the bypass, and you mentioned like how he always like bigging you up and like pushing you and stuff, and I was getting to it. That's why I kind of realized how you was talking. It was like, and I always tell my son this. I said, whenever you're in the court, you got to give 100% because you got kids who watching that they wish they could play and they can't play. So it kind of brought me back to full circle to what you're talking about with Keith. And like you said, like he said it, like when you get in a big argument with his smoking, he said like, bro, I can't do the things that you could do, and it's kind of like is like you don't know what type of you don't know how to deal with that, knowing
Mhm.
that they wish they could do what you do, but they can't do it because their situation physically.
Yeah,
So you don't know what they're dealing with when they have their alone time internal,
yeah.
but he never, from hearing you today, he never put no type of negativity on you. He
No,
never
no,
used you
no.
to be like, knowing that you guys were such good friends, best friends. He never was complaining to you. Like it would be easy for him to complain to you because you're his best friend. But instead of doing that, he more built you up and gave you strength. And I'm not
Yep.
saying like he was dealing with it, but it's a possibility, what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
it kind of speaks volumes, man. Like that's deep,
yeah,
for
yeah,
him to be that type of way, man. And maybe cigarette smoking was where he could kind of ease the battle he had with himself.
yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying? Like
exactly what
I
you said.
huh?
That's exactly what you said.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, and I have that same vibes too. I would see people, I'd be like, damn, man, like people in wheelchairs and stuff. I'd be like, damn, man, like I'd always be like, damn, that sucks. Even like a obese person, and they can't
Yeah.
really move good and stuff. I'd be like, damn, that sucks, man. It's like I wonder how did they deal with it. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So like, for him to be the type of friend he was to you, man, and him dealing with he's dealing with, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, that's nothing but respect, man, to that guy,
Yeah, yeah,
brother. That's
yeah,
a
yeah,
that's a true friend, man. And
yeah,
you
yeah.
just talking about him really put a lot of stuff in perspective with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because when I see like a person like dealing with stuff like he dealt with or stuff like that, it kind of motivates me more to like, to ask them like, hey, everything good, man? How you doing today, man? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Just
yeah.
asking simple questions like that, man, because you just never know like what they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, that's kind of deep, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. Mhm. Yeah,
Respect to keep, man. Rest in peace, brother. For real.
yeah, man. Rest in peace, my
You know
boy,
what I'm
man.
saying?
For sure, for sure,
Yeah,
for
man. I
sure.
appreciate you sharing that, man. You know what I'm
Of
saying?
course,
Definitely
of course.
sharing that, man.
And
You
and
know,
for everybody who tuning in, my full scoop. a more in-depth scoop, I can't remember how far back it was, but it is on my page, Cboogie Talks, Cboogie Chats. I did my whole segment was just for that, man. So for more in-depth stuff, you could go back and tune in for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. We about to wrap this up soon, man. Real quick, have you been checking out some of the college basketball and stuff?
I see Jawan Howard win. I see Jawan Howard win last night.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Murray State lost, right? To
Yeah, they lost to damn.
Oh gosh.
Is it St. Peter's?
St. Peter's, yeah. Murray State lost to St. Peter's. I checked the girl from St. Thomas. What her name is? She playing for South Carolina.
Aliyah Boston.
Yo, she did. Hey, them man had Howard 60-4, yo.
Yeah, man. They set up the MEAC, man. You can't do that to the HBCU like that.
60-4. I was like, what? And you can't join the tower. You gotta play.
Yeah. It's true,
so
man.
I ain't been in depth like this. Me create no bracket, but I've been tuning into to different vibes, man. And shout out to her as a Virgin Islander. Shout out to her people, and I just hope she hope she do great the rest of the way, man. Cause man,
yes.
when I saw that pop up 60-4, what do you tell your team?
Just keep fighting, son. Keep
yeah,
fighting.
Yeah, man.
Seize the moment, just enjoy this moment.
You're right. You're right. Seize the moment, man. They're here. So I was looking forward to the rest of it, the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, and down to the final tournament. Looking forward to just seeing, for some reason, and it's just me, I don't know. There's something, I don't want to use the word missing, but there's just some little parts of it that I can't explain it. Like, I don't have the gravitational pull as I've had before. Maybe because I don't know, man. Like, me saying players ain't locked in, but I don't know what to call it, man. But you know what I mean? Seeing the kids seeing the young dudes play, and I see the partner from who it is, Jawan Howard them beat.
Oh man, I watched that game last night. They beat who Michigan beat? Tennessee.
Tennessee. Seeing them beat Tennessee. Seeing these young dudes in seeing the passion they have, man.
Yeah.
That's the fulfilling part. I see the one dude, Juwan Howard, had to grab Pana, like, yo, however he tell him, I like, man, this Pana I know the athletes know where this man coming from, the man. Let me not say athletes, but people with passion about what they do could feel where he coming from, the man.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So I look forward to seeing the rest, man. Just today and I'm watching a story of Len Bias. Pop up on my YouTube.
Yeah.
Being from Maryland and play from Maryland, and all the awards he won in the NCAA. It's just, of course, I just want all these dudes, throughout sports and everything, just cherish everything you have, man. Cherish every moment.
Yeah,
like you mentioned to your son, I guess somebody that wasn't able to be in that position, that wish they was in that position, man.
Yeah, it's true.
And ain't nothing to take lightly. And even to my son passing up the opportunity this weekend, like you have to gravitate to every little small moment you have, man, because that moment could have propelled so much more.
It's true.
So much more. And you were privileged enough for a coach to see you doing something and wanted you, whereas a child home who couldn't be where you was would have jumped and leap to the opportunity, would have said yes even before talking to his parents. You know what I mean? So I just look forward to seeing the rest of the tournament, man. It's it's a different feel compared to the NBA.
Yeah, it's true. So real quick, you have any guest lineup that you can mention or no?
I have I just speak to Devon Peltier today.
Okay.
I speak to him today. And while I'm on here on you with you guys, if Karen watching, I'm mounting, if them on there, I want to shucks, since I get hold on there, let me look at the calendar real quick.
Yeah, yeah, you got time, man. Big up to everybody tuning in, man, supporting Cboogie Talks, man. Christopher Henry, man. Appreciate you guys supporting, man. Andre, Miss Bryson, Rika, everybody that been in the chat, man, saying, giving wise words and, your positive comments. And, I appreciate you guys, man. Complimenting on our conversations we had today. I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you
Yeah,
guys, man,
man.
sharing that stuff.
Appreciate
And the
you guys
big,
as well,
yeah.
for real, for real.
And the
So the
individuals on YouTube too. Sorry about that, Chris. And then
oh,
and the
you good.
individuals on YouTube. Yeah, appreciate you guys, man. Everybody, any names that leave out. Bless up, David. Bless up. Appreciate all you guys, man.
So the 6th, if you free on the 6th, I want to reach out to Karen Mountain, and I want to actually, as I mentioned his name tonight, I want to add Corey to that night too. I want us to do our sports talk. Is a lot to talk about. It's a lot
Yeah.
to unpack. As you mentioned, the tournament, Leah Boston, Michael Beasley. I want to touch on that. I don't know if you saw his interview.
I was gonna ask you that. I was gonna ask you that, man. Powerful.
Powerful,
Powerful.
man. Powerful,
Powerful.
powerful, powerful. I watch it several times, and I like.
It was the definition that me and you have talked about on air and off air in the
Mm-hmm,
backstage.
mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm,
know?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's funny.
So
It's funny you mentioned that because Friday when I was talking to my, my good friend, they sent me the video. That's what they sent me. So it's like it just it speaks value, man. How powerful that video is, and people who can relate, to what we're talking about. Not people. A lot of people can relate to what we talk about. Let me put it that way.
yeah, man. So I would like for us to touch on that, man. Like the man, like I said, man, the bag means a lot, but it's so much more. This man is a millionaire, and this man still feel like he was missing something. You know what I mean?
Like you
The
said, man, that human being, man. Human being.
and we'll definitely get into it. But
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
you free
man.
on the 6th, I will reach out to Corey and Karen and Mountain. And
Yeah.
if I'll be free on the 6th, I would like for us to do it on the 6th. Like I mentioned, Devon Peltier. And I'm going to reach out to Rashida Clarence and Jareem.
Okay, Rashidi and
Like I'm
Jerry.
reaching
Nice.
out to them.
Nice. Very nice. That'd be
Chacha
good.
Chacha Garcia. I have to reach out to her. She might be my last interview for the month of April.
Oh, nice, man. That's dope.
Yeah. That's I have to reach out to her again.
Nice.
And yeah, that's just a couple upcoming stuff. I guess some more topics coming up. I'm gonna have probably April shooting for April 27th. I'm gonna have a round table. I call it a round table of guys that people have never had on my platform to have like open dialogue. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's shooting for April 27th. I figure I have some people I met through Clubhouse that I've never brought on that, some new faces, you know what I
That's
mean?
dope. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I plan to do that for the 27th. So far that's some upcoming stuff, I have into play.
Nice, man. Nice. People don't forget, man. Cboogie Talks every Wednesday, 8 p.m. But also subject to change, So make sure you guys always tap in, man. Support the page. Support Chris, man. He's doing a lot of good things, man. He's doing a lot of dope stuff, man. So I'm a big fan. And you already know, man. Whatever you need, man, I will support you with that, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
man.
also, like I mentioned, look out for Cboogie Chats. It's
Cboogie
just
Chats, yeah.
it's a segment I just do where I just focus on me, little stories, whether it's sad, emotional, funny, certain experiences. I've seen a lot of stuff throughout my life, so it's just me sharing. I got a concept from Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart did something
Okay,
during the
dope.
pandemic called Straight from the Heart, and he was just telling little segments and stories about certain stuff. So I
Like
plan
that.
to mimic that and do the same. I will actually I'll say about, I know it's late tonight, but I will still do it. Probably like about 9 I gonna come back on and just share a little, share um, a little funny moment I had with some real famous people in New York.
Nice, dope. Yeah,
And again, man, my boy, I appreciate you. I appreciate this platform. I appreciate who you are, on the platform, who you've been to the Virgin Islands on a whole.
means a lot.
Um,
Appreciate that.
your name speaks volume. Your record speaks volume. Your career speaks volume. You know what I mean? And is a blessing, and it's again it's gratitude and love and all for being here with our man, because
Yeah, man. Appreciate that, man.
because
Means a
like
lot.
like I said, we come from a smile island, man, and we've we've there's a lot of great people and great things and great stuff that we've done, man. And you know what? This is just a testament of just a small piece of the Virgin Islands. You know what I mean? And your platform and mines and all the others, you know, keeping the Virgin Island name circling around the place, man. So definitely appreciate you for having me on a second
Yeah,
time, and I
man.
look forward. And anytime you need me, my boy, once I'm available to come on with you, I did it, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Definitely, man. Definitely. You know, matter of fact, if you could make it for Mountain On, that would be great. That would
Yeah,
actually be good.
let
That
me
would
know
be
the
good.
date. Let
Yeah,
me know
yeah.
the date.
Yeah, I think it's April 10th, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. I'm gonna double check the chat with Mountain, but that'd be dope to have you on. Actually,
Yeah,
as a
yeah, yeah,
host, that'd be dope. That'd be
yeah,
dope. I
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, man. But I definitely appreciate you, man. I appreciate those kind words, man. And the same go for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's all love between me and you, man, forever, brother. Trust me. You know. Um, Again, people, visit Andre Page, man. 24 years coaching in the York, area. You know what I'm saying? Women's volleyball, track and field, different sports, man. So definitely just showing some love, man. Coaching is difficult. You sacrifice a lot of time for your family, what I'm saying, your friends and stuff like that, because you're on a journey. You're on a journey, and like myself and Chris talk about having tunnel vision. So that when you have tunnel vision, you forget about the outside people as well too, and you don't mean it. You just locked in. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to be locked in. So definitely show him some love, man. Show some Miss Bryce some love. Another teacher who spent many years, who's been influential to Chris. And so many different students over the years, man. The list years goes on, man, in band. So definitely shout out to Miss Bryson and all the other teachers that tuned in and everybody else, man. Much love to all you guys. I always appreciate you guys supporting and chatting in. Rika, much love to you. You always tuning in. So I definitely appreciate you as always, man, and everybody else who always tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys taking time out of your Sundays and all your other days to just watch us and support us, man. Appreciate you guys. So your time is not just going to waste. We definitely appreciate it. So I definitely want to mention that. So much love to everybody, man. Make sure you guys support Cboogie, man. Cboogie Faces,
Yeah,
Cboogie
man, yeah,
Talks
man.
Faces, Cboogie Talks. Also, if you guys are on Clubhouse, look up the names and you guys could probably, follow us. I'm on Clubhouse, but not that much. But Chris B on Clubhouse, you guys also, support him as well too, man. And everything that he doing, man. You know what I'm saying?
And
Every
I real quick,
Yeah, go ahead, you got it.
I want to give some shout outs too. Definitely shout out to Miss Bryson. Definitely shout out to Andre for being real. I've been reading what y'all been putting in the chats, man, and it's real.
Yes.
I really appreciate it. Arika, big up to you, of course. Carry on, coming for me, clutch. With Tegan and Pan. So big
Yeah.
up to you. Big up
Yeah.
Mrs. Henry. Big up to Marlene. Big up to Batman. Um, Big up to Shanda. Big up to my moms, my pops, all the family, and especially Batman and Malim. And these man are always, if they can, these two dudes, my parents who I grew up with, if they can't see my life, then they'll make sure. Oh, big up to Jamal. Look, my boy, the most
Yeah,
fun.
Jamal Carrington. Big
Jamal,
up
my boy,
Jamal.
man.
Yeah, much love, brother.
Big
Much
up to
love.
you, Jamal. Big up Jamal, man. That's my guy, man. That's my guy, man. We message each other some inspirational stuff daily, man. That's
Yeah.
my guy, man. Big
It's
up
a
to
good,
Jamal.
it's a good dude,
Um,
man. That's a good
yeah,
person.
man. Yeah,
Good
man. For
human
sure.
being. It's a good
Yeah,
human
man.
being
Yeah,
right there.
man.
Yes,
But
sir.
I was saying big up to Malim and Batman. After all my life, man. If they ain't watch it that night, then I always go back and watch it and message me. And them type of things, man, is humbling, man. It's real humbling. So big up to them too, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. Real quick, Chris, if you don't mind, can you explain Clubhouse to Miss Bryson and
Okay,
anybody
so
else who they might want to know?
yeah, man. So Clubhouse, you definitely gotta download the app. Clubhouse, you get a whole bunch of different rooms and a whole bunch of different topics that you could jump in a room and people are having conversations about. Um, if you if you look up my name or move my name, you could follow us or follow the different rooms that we're in. Um, the room that I'm in, there's one with the one with Shalimar. Them is Peace, Love, and Magical Vibes.
Yeah, that one too.
Um,
Nice one.
there's the LSD podcast room, Love, Sex, and
LSD.
Dating.
Yeah.
Um, and there's another one that I listen to daily. I can't remember the name. The Raj Global or something, but his platform that come from is an affirmations thing, but he come from all different spectrums, you know what I mean? And there's so many other rooms that you could get into. There's gospel, there's prayer rooms,
Yeah,
there's
music.
stuff, there's music, there's stuff with stocks. There's so many different things that so
Yeah.
many different rooms you could get into with people just having conversation. There's room with celebrities, you know what I mean, that you could go in and listen to these man talk if you choose to. So is once you download the app, and you could start by just rooms are gonna pop up. You could start by following, like I said, me and Mumba, and then you could just transition from there.
Yeah. And you could look at our friends list because you might see some people that you know that's our friends list, and that's how you get connected as
Yeah,
well
yeah,
too.
yeah.
You
Yep.
know. Yeah. So yeah, man, appreciate you sharing that, man. So appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys, man. You know, definitely thank you guys, man. So and we have Carry On coming out. We not gonna have an episode this. We're not gonna be live this Sunday. But following Sunday, we got Carry On Shepherd. You know, Chris mentioned Carry On. She does a lot, man. She does a lot for so many people. It's only right we have her on. You know, let her share her story and let her touch on a lot of stuff that she have planned for the Virgin Islands and what she doing and stuff
Okay,
like that. And
okay.
then and then the following Sunday, I want to say we have Mountain on. So that's the next two people on. And I have to get this individual, and I forgot his name. Carry On sent me his information. I gotta get him on. You know, he used to do the sports write up for high school sports. I forgot his name. Damn, I can't remember. I forgot his name. But
Back home?
yeah, back home. Yeah, I forgot his name. But yeah, but I'll mention it next podcast when we come back on. So
Hey,
yeah, man. But good night to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Blessings to Chris, blessings to your family and everybody, man.
appreciate it, appreciate it. Blessing to you as well, my boy.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? So much love, brother. Everybody be safe, man. Have a good night, man. Have a blessed evening, man. And don't forget to tune in. Cboogie Talks. You know what I'm saying? Wednesday, Cboogie Faces. Tonight, most likely he might be on, so look out for that too as well.